Hello, hello, hello. Oh, it feels good to be live and to be live during the day. Really, really nice. I even summoned up the energy to put makeup on. I can't believe it. And I took a little bit of a risk doing a red lip as well. Um, Really quick, I posted to my Patreon today, which digs deeper into what we're talking about today on the YouTube. I put the link in the chat. Also, if you didn't know, I have a brand partnership with the company Womanizer, which is a pleasure toy company. You can use the code AFF-Queen. So A is in Apple, F is in Frank, F is in Frank dash Queen. You can use that to get some money off. They have this super, super cool calendar advent couples thing. So like if you are coupled up with somebody and you all like to use toys in the bedroom, they have like a culmination of like different toys, and like they have it for like a super good discounted price. It comes like a blindfold and calendars and all this stuff, and you can get all that stuff for like a really cheap price in addition to the code. um yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. If I have enough energy, I'm gonna go on the spiritual channel after here. I'm not 100% sure yet because I have to build back up my live stream stamina since I haven't been able to go live stream regularly. So we're gonna see, but just understand like I do have the protection spell video in all the material like ready to go. I just want to make sure that I have enough energy to do it. So if I'm not going to do it today, it's for sure going to be done first thing in the morning on the spiritual channel, and that's on Queen the Mystic. Okay, now that we've got that all done and out the way, so on TikTok, I kept seeing these videos of like women discussing about like men and their perception of beauty and how men are biologically wired to kind of just only care about women's beauty. And I was a stripper. Okay, I stripped like 8 years ago. And men are very fickle. Okay, men are very fickle. Men are very shallow. Okay, men only really care about sleeping your beauty and sleeping with you. That's all they care about. That is all their priority is. They don't care about anything else. Okay. And so, what that whole narrative that they're pushing in regards to women being natural, the reason why they want women natural is simply because men understand that they are weak for beauty. Okay. They understand that they are simps for beauty. And they also understand that, I mean, when you really, really look around and you look at Instagram and what it's done to the beauty standard, when you look at the normalization of surgery and what it's done to the beauty standard, and when you look at social media allowing a platform for men to have parasocial relationships with women, this is the highest amount of beautiful women that men have probably, not even probably, this is the most amount of beautiful women that men have ever had access to or exposure to, because it doesn't take anything for you to make yourself beautiful. It takes nothing for you to make yourself beautiful, which is the reason why men really don't want you to use any enhancements per se. It's kind of the same thing as what they say in regards to how you dress. So they want you to dress modestly, because when you dress modestly, according to them, that lowers their inhibition that they have for you sexually. So as long as you cover up, you're going to be able to make sure that he can maintain him being lustful. And we know how much of a lie that is, right? We know how much of a lie that is, right? It's kind of the same thing. Don't add more to your beauty because it is going to lower my inhibitions to want to be a simp over you. Okay. This is the reason why long term they tend to go for women who are just more plain. They tend to go for women who they won't be unattractive. They won't. But the thing about it is that is an attractive, if a woman is already attractive natural, is makeup, if she knows how to do it, is that going to make her less attractive or more attractive? I want you to think about that. If a woman that is already naturally pretty is, if she puts on makeup and she knows what she's doing, is that going to make her more attractive or less attractive? Yeah, it's going to make her more attractive. Right? Right. So that's obviously going to create a situation in which a man is going to have more competition. When, if you're already pretty and you're already plain, okay, you're pretty, but we also realize that the average woman looks better than the average man. There are more beautiful women and prettier women than there are good looking men. So even if you are plain Jane, you still look better than the average man. That's a given. That's a given. Everyone knows that overall, women possess beauty and men don't. They don't have that as leverage to be able to use. Men want to have some control over the amount of beauty that women naturally have, because men already know that we are the more beautiful gender. Okay, so I think a lot of women get caught up in like plain Jane and like making it competitive amongst other women. It's not about it being competitive amongst other women, because when it comes to beauty, you're better than men. You're already better than them. It has nothing to do with you being plain or not. It has everything to do with how men perceive women's beauty overall. Overall, and they've done studies on this through dating apps. I think when they had men rate women when it comes to their beauty, men think that like 80% of women are attractive. Men are not that picky. Men actually believe that majority of women are attractive. For women, when they did the same thing for men, I think women found only 30% of men attractive. So if we as women only find men attractive 30% of the time, and they view women to be attractive 80% of the time, would that number not go up if all women did everything possible to further enhance their beauty? Would that number not go up if every single woman did everything possible to enhance her beauty based off of what men find attractive? Of course. Of course it would go up. So why would they want women to be in a position where if they already find 80% of you all beautiful, why would they want that number to go up? So you could have more options? So you could have a roster of 5 men who are taking you out on dates and paying your bills? So you can care less about a man dumping you or ghosting you because you already got one that you're texting that's taking you out that night? Of course not. Why would they want to put themselves in a predicament where more people are going to deem you as beautiful because you know how to enhance your beauty? That would not be beneficial to them, which is why they don't want you to do things to enhance your beauty, because it's not about being natural or not being natural. It's about enhancing your natural beauty. If you're a woman and you naturally are curvaceous, we all know that if you are a woman that's naturally curvaceous, which one is going to enhance your beauty more? The dress that you have on like a potato sack, or the dress that you have on that has like a sweetheart neckline? It's like an undercut type of bra, and it's more form fitting. Everybody knows that you're thin under the potato sack. Everybody knows that you're in shape under the potato sack. But people can really see your your figure. They can see it more when you have on something that flatters you. You cannot flatter something that is not naturally beautiful, which is why men get upset over the fact that you have the ability. Men don't. Can men put on makeup and it make them look more beautiful? No, they can't, because they're not beautiful already. They don't have anything to work with. They don't have anything to work with. It literally would be the same as putting glitter on shit. It's not going to get rid of the funk. It's not going to get rid of how it looks, the shape. You know that it's shit. There's nothing that you can prettify something that is not naturally pretty. It's just no way. No matter how ugly a woman thinks that she is, there's still a level of beauty that women possess that is higher than men's. And so as long as you know what to do with your features, as long as you know what to do and know what you're working with and know how to figure that out, you can expand upon your beauty. And that's what men don't like. Men are upset that you already have something to work with, right? It's already going to have something that you can work with, right? So I think it's one of those things where, I don't know, I think it's kind of one of those things where men resent the fact that, that's why they say that like you're bamboozling them. Okay. It's the reason why they feel as though they feel like they've been conned when they see that you wear makeup, or they see that you wore a wig or a waist trainer or things like that, because essentially you're putting them in a predicament where they will want to simp for you. Because the thing about it is that I'm sure women can attribute this, be able to attribute to this the fact that, I don't know about anybody else, but like I I essentially have been able to like get away with being crazy, and men don't really mind if you're crazy or not, as long as you're attractive. Men do not care if you put your hands on them. Men don't care if you yell at them. Men don't care really what you do as a woman when they perceive you to be more beautiful. And like this, there's literally statistics on them, because men's brains are wired to pretty much pedestalize beauty. And so that's another thing too. They understand that, okay, if this woman's really beautiful, I'm going to allow her to get away with more things. I essentially will be able to allow her to get away with more things. So it's kind of one of those things where they want to lower the price that they would have to pay in order to, I guess, control themselves more by having you be more natural, right? And it's the lip color is the Rihanna. It's like the Stunna paint. It's that red color or whatever. I haven't put makeup on in so long, and I was like, I haven't put red on in a while. I was like, I'm just gonna put on red. Um, yeah. But anyway, yeah. And that's another thing too that you brought up too. Yeah, they really don't want to have themselves be in a predicament where you're going to get attention from other people, because men are so paradoxical. Of course, they like your beauty because they're attracted to your beauty. So, of course, in the moment, that's great. Like, of course, in the moment, they're happy with the beauty that it is that you possess. It's when they realize that your beauty is going to attract more people, it's going to attract more opportunities for you. And once they realize that you get to reap more benefits from the currency of beauty that you have, that's when they start to want to resent you. That's when their jealousy comes out. That's when they start to get more angry, because men hate the fact that as women we're born with beauty, and they say that themselves. Even like the RP community, um the manosphere community, they say that themselves. Women are born with value, men have to create that value. Yeah, that value that they're talking about is beauty. Beauty is the value that they are talking about. Thank you. And then another thing too, this is another thing that men like to do is, well, I already said that, like, they don't like that we can manufacture their kryptonite, because it's like, I don't know. You guys let me know, okay? I'm not big on height, so I guess that's the reason why I don't have an opinion on this. But if you are a woman that's really big on men being taller than you, I'm only 5'1". So someone 5'6", 5'7", they're taller than me. It really doesn't make a big deal to me. And I kind of feel like, because I'm so short, I haven't had to deal too much with the short man complex, because they're fucking taller than me. Okay. So when they're dealing with me, they actually feel important. They actually feel like they, have some sort of domination over me, because they're still taller than me. But Only in my opinion. You guys can let me know. If I know the surge, it's a thing for men to be able to make themselves taller, but let's just say that BBLs to women would be the same as like having men's height get it extended was the same. So men are getting height extensions at the same level of women getting BBLs. Do you think that that's good? Do you think that that would change your level of attraction to men if they had these like extended stilts on their legs? Because me personally, I wouldn't. It wouldn't make a difference to me. But like I said, I'm 5'1", so I don't really care. Like it doesn't matter to me. But maybe if you're a woman that's taller, I don't know. But for me, it wouldn't make a difference. It wouldn't make a difference for me. Um, Whereas men know for a fact, like, oh my God, even if they have a BBL, if they see a BBL that's obvious that's a BBL, they're going to tell themselves, okay, I see a BBL. They're going to think it looks good still. They're going to think it looks good still. Thank you for the super chat, Amy. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. And even then, I mean, I really also, I mean, unless you want tall kids, I don't really think it would be a big deal for women. Even if women did find out, like, oh, he had some surgery to enhance his height, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really think a woman would really care a whole lot about that because it's, for women, it's really not as big of a benefit to care about that stuff. Women care more about resources, you know what I mean? And so when men try to give the point of, oh, he has to be 6 feet tall with a six-pack and making six figures. Okay, most of these men don't even have a six-pack. The only six-pack that they have is the beer that they have in their freaking refrigerator. They're nowhere near, I mean, they're nowhere near close to six figures. Get the most important thing first before you worry about the other two. You know what I mean? Like the six figures is the most important. Men can't afford to have all three anyway. So yeah, okay. And then also it's like what I said about them essentially you manufacturing their kryptonite. Okay. If they have you natural, that means that, oh, well, then that means that she can only be here for my existence. And I don't have to worry about any outside influence coming to compete with me or distracting her for me. Because if your beauty is enhanced, it's going to draw other men. It's just naturally going to draw other men. Men want to have a level of they want to have a level of, I guess, exclusivity. Yeah, I guess that's the word. I guess they want to have a level of exclusivity with you being natural. Because in their head, well, if she's being natural, she won't attract as many men as she would attract if she had makeup on, essentially. That's what their frame of thinking always is going to be when it comes to that. And then another thing too is a lot of men just like to say, because I think a lot of women will get confused. You ever deal with a man and he's like, I want someone natural. You know, I don't like that makeup. I don't like your wigs and weaves. And I don't like somebody with their, I want someone that's natural. And then you look at everybody that they have on Instagram and it's the BBL warriors with their 30-inch bust down and their face full of makeup. And it's like, huh? If you're with me and you claim that you don't, and you claim that you want someone natural and that you don't like somebody with a whole lot of makeup, then why is everyone that you're following the complete opposite of how it is that I look? Right? How is that even possible? A lot of the time, men want to shame and police women's appearance while they simp for beauty on the side. So they just want to be able to feel like they're important and they can police you around and point the finger and say, yeah, this is what I like. This is what I want. This is what I don't like, because they just want to they want to feel superior, right? Because they got to go to the job every day. They got to go to a little factory job every day. And before they start their little factory job, he got to huddle around. He got to huddle around all the other sausages that he works with. And then King Sausage, the manager, the boss, got to tell him, you got to do this, you're not meeting these numbers, you need to work faster, and it's bruising his ego because he got a man telling him what to do. And that's frustrating him. He wants to be able to feel like the big man on campus. And so what does he do? He just transfers that over to you and say, yeah, you're not meeting my standard, and I want you to be natural, and you're doing too much, and I want you more covered up, and da, da, da. And then once he whips out that phone, he's like, okay, yeah, this is what I really want, but I don't have access to tell this woman what to do. I can't police her beauty. And because I can't police her beauty, I'm going to admire her beauty because I don't have the power to tell her in person what it is that she should be doing. Although men still attempt, they love getting on the internet and finding the very same woman's picture that they're liking. Oh, you're half naked, and you're this, and you're that, and da, 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 da. And then they still like the photo. They still like the photo. Lord knows what they're doing with the photo while they're looking at it. That's like a whole nother conversation. Meanwhile, her BBL win probably stinks, and she probably smells like plastic, and da, da, da. They just want to humble people. They just want to tell people what they do and what they don't like. Unwarranted. Like I think it was last week. I think it was like last week, or maybe even this week. I had posted something on TikTok, and this black man was like, I know that this is off subject, but I just want to let you know that I don't like black women, and I don't like black women that he's like, I like long hair, and I don't like women that have short hair. And I mean, obviously I blocked him, but I was like, he literally commented this because he doesn't have any agency over his life, where he feels as though he has power over somebody. So this is the most amount of power that he's ever going to feel, is to get on someone's page and then comment like, oh yeah, like I don't like this and I don't like that. Go get the thing that you like. I mean, it's really that simple. I can't get anything closer. I can't get any closer to what I want by focusing on the thing that I don't want. Because the thing about it is that only an idiot will focus on the thing that they don't want and not what they do want. Like that means you're stupid. That's literally like somebody wanting a job, and instead of you going to the jobs that you want, you go to every job that you don't want and then tell the person during the interview, yeah, I don't want this job. This job don't pay enough. This job is stupid. You're wasting your time. You're literally applying and doing all this shit just to go to a job interview to tell the people that you don't want this job. No. How are you going to get the job that you actually want where you're putting so much energy into what you don't want? Because it has nothing to do. You don't have access to get what you want. That's what the issue is. Men have a better chance at stating what it is that they don't want because they don't have easy access to get what they do want. That's great that you have these preferences. You're allowed to state your preferences, but you can't snap your fingers and just have the girl of your dreams that you want that meets every single preference of yours. You can't just have that girl here. And then once that girl no longer wants you, or you no longer want her, then you can replace her with the same type of girl, and then repeat, and then repeat, and then repeat. No, the most power that men are ever going to have is to state their preference. That's the reason why they state them. Because they know that men don't have enough power to be able to get what it is that they want and then keep getting what it is that they want over and over, or else you wouldn't be constantly trying to talk about what it is that you don't want. It's because you don't have access to what you do want. A guy I cut off partly for making weird comments about my makeup commented on my page from a fake page to make comments about my makeup. Exactly. And it's like, you just want to feel better about yourself today. So guess what? I will let you have it, and then I'll just block you. Like, I'll just block you. Like, okay, great. Do you feel better today? Are you happy that you got yourself? Are you happy that? And sometimes I'll comment that. or even if people say something mean like that to you in person, or a man tries to say something negative to you like that in person, just treat him like a child. Say, do you feel better now that you got that off your chest? You feel lighter now that you got that off of your chest? Just treat him like a kid. Exactly. Did you cope well? Did that help you get through, you coping with these standards that you cannot possess, and these standards that you actually don't have access to? Did that make you feel better? If they're, pat them on the back, give them a pat on the back. Do you want to unpack that more? Do you want to unpack that more? Men freaking love long nails. There's so many different historical reasonings behind women and having long nails. Like, even with me having a background in the strip club, women literally used to get their nails really, really long when they dance in the strip club, because they would do all types of like designs that would like add to them with what they're like doing on the pole. There were girls that would like put arrows on their nails and like all types of designs to like further enhance, because like the men really liked it. Like, the men liked how their nails looked wrapped around the pole, because it is synonymous to how it looks wrapped around other things. You know what I mean? Because I mean, if I look at it like this, if you're going to have short nails, or I guess short to a point, I mean, aside from the shape, that's really the only thing that you can have control over, if you keep your nails short and it actually look like you're not wearing your natural nails in most cases. If you get no chip and your nails are super, super bare, I mean, they're polished. You know what I mean? They're simply polished. And yeah, I wear both. I do. I wear both. Currently, no nails, but it's been nice to take a break from having my nails. And with me being so aggressive with how often I'm polling at the studio, child, I don't need any nails because those nails were holding me back. And my fingers, whenever I do any like knee hook, anytime my hand has to be near my thighs, my hands are getting caught, because my thighs are so freaking thick. My thighs are so freaking thick that it's really, really hard for me to not get my fingers and hands caught between my skin and the pole. And so I had to take my nails off. I did. My thumb is like still not recovered, because I pinched my thumb in between the pole and my thigh. And yeah, it's like still numb in the middle part. So I had to take them off. Oh yeah, exactly. Because our skin is softer. Our fingers can be a lot longer. Our hands are much smaller. Okay, another reason too, when it comes to men in regards to beauty and them trying to prevent themselves from simping over beauty, is that men men are secretly slaves to artistry, okay? And they actually resent women for the level of artistry that we can have, because we can make it look beautiful, okay? Because makeup is an art, hair is an art, clothing is an art, movement is an art. Okay, so like I said before, when you take something beautiful and you add whatever beautifying factor to that beautiful thing, it's going to make it even more beautiful. Okay? So men rather lie to themselves. Men rather lie to themselves by like trying to paint this like false ideology that they want something authentic, that they want something real. It's like, no, you don't want something authentic because you like it. You want something authentic because it's more protective of your ego, right? With men, it's never about what they want. It's always the intentionality behind what they say they want. That's the difference. It's never about what they want. Men try to make it seem as if like they're simple, they're straight to the point. No, it's never about what they want. It's the intentionality behind what they say that they want, because what they say what they want isn't what they really want. What they say what they want is for an intention, usually to protect their ego, usually to protect their masculinity. That's why that whole what is it? If he wanted to, he would. Okay, that's great. Yes, if he wanted to, he would, but why does he want to do it? Why does he want to do it? Do you really think that a man wants to give you $10,000 over 2 months and you're not going to ever question yourself, okay, why does he want to give me $10,000 in 2 months? It's just, he wants to give me $10,000 in 2 months. Okay, and for what? Why do you want to give me $10,000? Why do you want to give this money to me? Because there's a reason. There's a reason why they want to do X, Y, Z for you. They obviously are going to want something because that's why they're doing it for you. They're not doing it because they think that you're special and wonderful and da. No, of course not. Even if they admire your beauty and they do all these things for you, they might want to control your beauty, or they may, I mean, men do this all the time. They won't have a problem with you being beautiful and they'll give you everything that you want, but they're going to use your beauty for their benefit. You want to know how many men pawn their wives or girlfriends off that are beautiful to their bosses so that way they can get a promotion? Men do that all the time. Men literally will pawn off their beautiful wives to people in power in order for them to get a promotion. They don't care. They will do whatever it is that they need to do in whatever reason makes sense to them that's going to benefit them. That's the reason why they're going to do it. It's really that simple. Young Shira followers believe that men just give money without wanting anything. Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%. The worst thing that ever happened with Shira 7's content is it reached to TikTok. I think that was the worst thing ever. Once people started clipping her content, that's when it got bad for the message that she was trying to bring out to women. Because if you only watch clips, well, then of course, the story that you're telling yourself based off the clips is, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to find a man that has money, and then he's going to give me money, and then I won't have to work again. That would be the story. That would be the story that you would get from just looking at clips. When in reality, the story is you need to be making some money. You need to be consistently leveling up. You need to be obsessed with yourself. And there should be a man that can honor all that, and he should be able to make your life easier by paying your bills. Like, the paying bills part is like the last part of the equation. That's like the last part of the equation, essentially. Because you got to do all that first. You got to do all that first before men even want to pay your bills for real. Honestly, you got to do all of that first before they even feel like they would want to pay your bills. Because no, you're not getting the run-of-the-mill average man to be able to pay your bills. He might want to take you shopping, and that may only last. That's only going to last for a little bit. And then you go find somebody else. Like, yeah. In their brain, it's painted out to be a much more prettier picture than it really is. That's why these girls will be freestyling for a month and be like, I've been freestyling for a month and I still haven't found a guy to pay my bills. Yeah, because it's going to take longer than a month. It's a full-time job trying to get men get men to provide for you. Like, come on. Yeah, they be looking desperate as hell. And that's the reason why she's always saying, you need to have your own money. You need to be leveled up. Like, Men don't want to give to someone begging. Men want to give to somebody open to receiving. It's a difference. It's a difference between begging and being open to receive. And people, especially men, they could smell the energy. They can smell the energy on you when you're begging for something as opposed to being open to receiving something, because then you're not looking. You're not over here looking. Even when I worked in the club, you just know. You literally just know when you're at the club. You could tell the men that like come in on the shift and you're like, these ain't my people. These are not the people that are going to spend money on me. I'm not even going to attempt. I'm not even going to, I mean, I'll talk to them. Maybe I'll get lucky, but you'll just know. I'm not going to even beg or go out of my way. These aren't my people. If they give me something, great. If they don't give me something, great. But you just know. Like even when I'm out in public, I literally did this yesterday. I went to the grocery store early yesterday. It's so crazy because there is an outfit that I wear, and every single time I wear this outfit, I always get attention from men. Always get attention from men. It's this blue raggedy tank top that has bleach stains at the top and these blue spandex shorts. Every time I freaking wear this, I always have men talk to me. And if I can see the man first before the man sees me, I will always know that the man's going to like say good morning or like greet me in some way. And it happened yesterday. Usually you can already know. They'll be freestyling at the club with their little drink and they're like, all right, maybe this one will talk to me. They be like, she like, let me sip my drink. Like constantly looking over their shoulder. Is this guy gonna talk to me? Oh, yeah, let me make sure he didn't see me looking at him. Like, no, you gotta be in your own little world. You gotta be in your own little world. You gotta you gotta make your own fun. You gotta make your own fun, and then people will just naturally want to essentially talk to you. Yeah. People that have money tend to want to be with people that already have money. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Yes. I'm like, oh my God, why do you guys? I'm like, damn, y'all are coming up to me. Y'all are coming up to me and I have freaking bleach stains. Bleach stains on my freaking shirt. I can't believe this. Yep. Yesterday, a girl said her boyfriend only gives her perfume and she recommended that she take the perfumes and sell them, making her own business. Yes. I'm telling you, like, I don't know. In my opinion, I just kind of feel as though women don't think hard enough. Women don't think hard enough or value what they possess already to use that to make them have more money. That's why a lot of time on this channel, I'm so big on beauty. I'm so big on beauty. The beauty industry, the fitness industry has done so good at creating all these insecurities into women, where women have lost sight of the fact that they're only doing that so that way they can make money off of you. They're not doing it because you're actually not beautiful. It's a difference. It's a difference. They're trying to make you believe that you're ugly for profit. But if you believe that you're beautiful, you'll be able to make profit. They're constantly trying to make it seem as if women are not smart, women are not logical. Well, eventually, when you constantly hear that, you internalize that. So then once you internalize that, you don't sit here and logically think, you know what? If this guy is getting me perfumes, maybe I can learn how to make like a perfume oil of this perfume that I have and then like market it for it to last longer. Market it for it to last longer. And then I could just go on ahead and I could sell it. You know what I mean? Because that's logic, that's strategy. Women, because women are told that we're not strategic, we're not logical, we never put ourselves in that predicament to want to use those qualities. Because people telling you don't possess the qualities already, why the hell would you try to use qualities that people are saying that you don't possess? Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they make women stupid and miserable. Because guess what? They also profit off of women going to the doctor more or women wanting to get psychological help more. Women are more apt to go to a therapist more. And then that therapist is going to say, hey, take these drugs for your anxiety or your depression or your panic disorder, yada, yada, yada. It's like a whole pipeline. If you all ever want videos on those pipelines, if you ever want a video on those pipelines, please let me know. Yep, exactly. Yeah, usually wealth likes wealth. They're usually not going to help someone that's broke. I mean, if you all you have to do is just go to like history of any type of actor or actress, even from a long time ago in Hollywood, you easily can realize when they talk about these marriages, they're using it for a business. Okay, they're using it to further their career, they're using it to gain more influence. You know, they're using it as a strategy. Marriage and things like that, it's a strategy for people that have money already. There is no strategy to help someone that is broke. The only strategy that would ever work is if you're helping a group of broke people and you're doing it under a charity because you can write that off. It's a loophole. It's a financial loophole that wealthy people use. Oh, what do you know about computers? When I expressed my interest about it, he was the same race too. It always be your own people. Yeah, and the thing about it is that, you know, the knee jerk reaction is just always to want to explain yourself or defend yourself. And the older I get, the more I realize that it's a waste to do that. It's a waste. I'm not going to defend myself. I'm not going to defend myself. I'm not going to prove myself. Like, if whatever bias that you have, I'm only one person. I can't change your mind about what bias you have around a group of people. And I'm not going to try either. Yep. Yeah, it's 1,000% strategy. And the harsh reality is that life is a game, okay? Outside of patriarchy, you're still having to pay the game of capitalism, especially here in the United States. They force you to play the game. Like, they won't allow people to be homeless. They're making it illegal to be homeless. Um, Plenty of people who decided to live off grid, they've literally fined people who have lived off grid. They've taken property from people that live off grid. Unless you do it in like a large, and then the thing about it is that if it's a commune, it takes nothing for these companies to kick these people out. I mean, they're gonna make you a slave to this. They're gonna make you a slave to it in some way. In some way, it's the world that men have created because it makes it more profitable. It makes it more profitable for everybody. So exactly. Exactly. As long as you're alive, yeah, it's here in like the 3D. It's nothing that you could do about it. Yeah, that's why average men are so good for capitalism. Average men are great for capitalism because men don't care about being average, because then they just piggyback off of the accomplishments of men who are like in the 1%, because they'll just say a man created it, a man created it, a man created it, even though they're the ones who have busted their balls, worked these long hours, been exploited, they're having back problems, they're having health issues to make this man be the top 1%. They rather give credit to someone just because that person is a man, even though they've been exploited to make that man wealthy. Yep, exactly. There's a rule to everything. There's so many rules in this game. There's so many rules in this game that, yeah. Yeah, I know, right? You would think. You Sound Hurt reminds me of a post about projection I read yesterday. The summary was, you literally have no idea what's going on within other people. So emotional assumptions are projections. 1,000%. 1,000%. Who hurt you? Apparently not the same person that hurt you, because where the fuck are you getting that from? It's a weird assumption to make for having a difference of opinion. Yep. Yeah, as long as it's a man that's doing it, they don't care where they fall in the pipeline of what they've had to sacrifice and give. As long as they can give credit to a man for doing it, yeah, because they've been conditioned to hate women. So, mm-hmm. I mean, I can never say all, but most men are homosocial simply because they've been conditioned that way. They've been conditioned to be homosocial. There was there was like a research study that someone talked about, and they were talking about how society does not like women in authority. And they did a group of like, they did young girls and then young boys, and like essentially what they did was like they secretly chose somebody in like the study group in each gender to be a leader. And the person that they presumed to be the leader in the group with the girls, the girl that was the leader was like disliked by all of the girls. Whereas in the male group, the man that was the leader, they liked him the most because he was the leader. Because the thing about it is that as a woman, women in leadership, like, it's kind of frowned upon. It's kind of frowned upon whenever women take on those types of characteristics, because women are more communal. Women tend to like to do things with like a team effort and a group effort. Women don't naturally do well with hierarchies. Men like hierarchies. So men actually like authoritative figures. Men actually like men that are in leadership. So that naturally creates a system of being homosocial, because despite there being a leader, all the men are bonding over the fact that they like this male leader. That's the reason why religion is so powerful. That's the reason why politics are so powerful, because there's one leader, and within that hierarchy, they're going to bow down to whatever leader it is, because that's how they become communal. women, that's the reason why women are walking away from religion more and more and more, because women are more collaborative. Women are much, much more collaborative than men are. Oh yeah. I was watching a true crime case yesterday. I don't know if you all ever heard of the case of Kelly Cochran, but I was watching like this case of like Kelly Cochran, and the crime actually was committed in Michigan, but then she drove all the way to Indiana with her husband, and so the investigation team obviously had to be deployed in Indiana. So like the chief officer, I can't remember like what her title was, but essentially she was on the lead case in Michigan. And then obviously she had to collaborate with the team in Indiana because that's where she had transported herself to. Well, they ended up solving the case. Woman got all the accolades, the woman got all the credit, and then she got fired from her boss after. And that Kelly Cochran case was actually like a very, very public case. And you can 100% attribute that to the fact of that she was able to crack the case, gain notoriety, and the fact that she was a woman. Because there's a book, if you really want to understand the oppression about like women when it comes to especially finances, you should read the book She Wolf. It's a really, really good book. It's called She Wolf. I can't remember who the author is, but it talks about the women of Wall Street, and it talks about where they came from, their family upbringing, and how hard and what these women had to overcome being women in Wall Street, and like how bad the misogyny was, and how bad the harassment was, and how they didn't want to give these women any credit, how they didn't want to. I mean, the book is going to freaking anger you. The book is going to anger you. And when in reality, everything that they've given to women, it just was a marketing strategy. Everything that women have, it was nothing but a marketing strategy for capitalism to thrive. Because in order for women to get hired, because they weren't hiring women were not getting hired. The reason why they started hiring women was because, well, there were like more women that were trying to file lawsuits. And, once they had looked past, or once they had, tried to tackle things like segregation and things like that, well, that's when they created like the EEOC for equal opportunity employers. And so it kind of became the thing to be like, okay, well, you're a bad person if you don't employ women, if you don't employ people of color. So the only reason why they just started employing women was because it just became a negative thing to not do. At the time, it became a negative thing to not do. So then that's when women were getting employed. But then once women were getting employed, that's all they had. They were being forced to do a lot of the work. They were forced to be subjugated to sexual harassment. They were forced to be taking all types of pay cuts. They weren't allowed to get any promotions. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, yes, I mean, like they've given women a lot more, but they've done it just simply because they can benefit. Even with women being able to work, the only reason why women are able to work is because capitalists realized they could tax 50% of the country. At least as a mechanic, if men try to ignore me, they eventually have to do what I said anyway. Exactly. The car gotta get fixed. So it ain't no, you can't do it, because if you don't do it, the car ain't getting fixed. And then you're gonna have a pissed off customer. Yep. Exactly. Everything that they've given to women is just simply money motivated. It has nothing to do with them liking women. It has nothing to do with them liking women or wanting to make women's lives easier. It's just simply because they realize like, oh, we can actually benefit by doing something. There are plenty of interviews on capitalists just fully saying it outright. Like we gave women rights because we could tax 50% of the country. It's 1,000% why. I even learned that fast food, their target demographic that they worked really, really hard to change their mind was actually women. Because before fast food became popular, it was like you were a housewife, you know, you cooked, you cleaned, and you were frowned upon if you didn't create a home cooked meal. And so essentially, what fast food companies realized that they had to do is they had to pretty much market to the public that like you're not a bad mother because you didn't prepare a meal for your family. And like they even had like this like poster ad that was like, give your wife a night off and get White Castle. Because actually White Castle was like the first. It actually was the first burger company, not McDonald's. It just McDonald's had better systems, which it got them more popular than White Castle. But that's how they marketed. They didn't market fast food because they actually wanted women to get a break. They marketed fast food because there was a sector in that they realized that they weren't able to tap into yet, because they wanted to be able to make money. The root of everything is money. Yeah. Barely worked. Mostly men go to fast food places than women. Oh, especially now. Especially now. That's why they're sassy now. They don't know how to, and they don't know how to cook. No one's teaching these moms are not teaching their sons how to cook. They're just expecting for a woman to cook for them. So then they get out in the real world. Like, oh my God, there was this one guy that I worked with. He had his girlfriend or whatever, and his girlfriend was always cooking for him, and they broke up, and he was over here bringing hungry man meals to work. And I just looked at him and I'm like, that's pathetic. That's pathetic. And the janitor who had worked there, she had looked at me and she said, yeah, that's why I raised my son to know how to cook. Because she said that just looks terrible. Thank you. My brother said a bachelor steak is a bowl of cereal. That's fucking crazy. Yeah. I've never dated a man that couldn't cook. Never. I've never dated a man that couldn't cook. Hell no. I don't even think I've attracted a man that didn't know how to cook. Like, mm-mm. No, I'm not cooking for anybody. The gag is he can cook. Of course, he's too lazy. Too lazy to cook. And don't get me wrong. Do they think that women feel like cooking either? Like gender roles are based off of assignment. Gender roles are not based off of an inherent want to do something. Like if that was the case, men would have no problem taking bullets for women. Men would have no problem getting punched out to protect women. No, men protecting is not an inherent thing that they want to do. Them protecting is not something that they are looking forward to do. Just like cooking and cleaning, women are not waking up like, oh, I can't wait to cook and clean. No, no one's looking forward to that shit. It's just it's an assignment. Gender roles are simply an assignment. Because and then providing, if that was an innate thing, they would have no problem paying for everything. They would have no problem paying bills, helping you pay your bills, sending you money every week, sending you money to get your nails done, your hair done, making sure that they're paying for your upkeep. They would have no problem. Yeah, because it's not something that they actually want to do. It's not something that they actually look forward to doing. Which is why they don't do it anymore. Which is the reason why women don't care about cooking and cleaning anymore, because it's not something that we really want to do. Thanks for joining, Melanie. Appreciate you. I'm jealous of the people who love to cook. I love to cook. I do. I really do love to cook, but it's just when I don't have food pre-made already, that's what gets me. So I try my best to make sure that I have food prepped, because yeah, the quickest way you're going to fall off, especially if you're like me and you're trying to lose weight, it's going to be because you don't have any food prepared. And I am slowly but surely losing weight. I'm losing it very, very, very slow on purpose. Very slow on purpose, because if you didn't know already, I had binge eating disorder and I did bodybuilding, and that like wrecked my metabolism. It wrecked my relationship with food. And pretty much every time that I've lost weight, I've done it very quickly. I've done it in a very unhealthy manner. So I'm making sure that I lose the weight very slow. Hi. Love to cook, hate to wash dishes, but I do them while I cook. Smart, get it done and out the way. I hate washing dishes too. Hate washing dishes. Can't stand it. Cannot freaking stand it. Thank you for joining, Kendra. Appreciate you. Oh my God, the She Wolf book. I have it right here. I have it right here. I took the little cover off of it. You know how they have like those little paper covers over the book. Um, I can that way I could tell you who actually it's Bryn. Oh, this is the book. She Wolves: The Untold History of Women on Wall Street by Paulina Bryn. Very good book. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. It's so hard to clean the kitchen with the itis. It is. It really, really is. That's why I don't clean the dishes. By the time I start cooking and I don't have food prepped, I want to eat my food immediately. Okay. Like, that's the thing. If I don't have food prepped, I will put off cooking for so long that I'm starving by the time that I cook something. And that's not good, which is why I try my best to prep. I try my best to prep. The only reason why I don't like the folding is because I'm constantly traveling, and it's just one extra thing to have to keep up with. And with me traveling, it gets all crinkled up anyway. Um yeah, and like once I have a bookcase, like once I actually move into a place and stay there, once I have a bookcase, all I need to see is this anyway. All I need to see is the spine of the book. How do you get to adulthood without being able to properly feed yourself? By going woman to woman, by going from pygmisha to pygmisha and getting them to feed you, and having them take you out on dinners and you not having to pay anything. That's how. And eating your hungry man chicken Hennessy wings in between. Yep, DoorDash. I knew a guy who only ever used paper plates, so he never had to do the dishes. The thing about it is that I hate taking out, like, honestly, I hate everything domestic. I don't like anything domestic. I hate taking out the trash. I don't like cooking. I don't like cleaning. I don't like anything domestic. And so in my head, I'm like, okay, if I buy paper plates, that means I have to take the trash out more. And I hate taking out the trash. I rather do the dishes and take out the trash. I don't know why. I just don't like taking out the trash. I think the reason why I don't like taking out the trash is because I cook so much So I have to take out the trash pretty frequently already. And then if I add paper plates to that, that means I'll have to keep taking out the trash more often. And I don't want to take out the trash more often. I rather just wash the dishes more. Sounds like you need a wife, queen. A wife would be great. A wife would be great. Make me Muslim so I can have 4 of them. Not too much on frozen meals. I love a good smart ones or a lean cuisine. Chow. I haven't had those in forever. I haven't had those in forever. Burb's nightmare dating profile videos are absolutely hilarious. I gotta watch them. When I tell y'all, I honestly think I might do it. I honestly think I might do it. I'm thinking about creating like a fake profile, like a fake dating profile, and having conversations with these men on there, trolling them, and then creating content because I got all the time. I do. I got all the time now. Now that I'm not working my 9 to 5 no more, I literally have been thinking about that. Now, here's the thing when it comes to those, back to the frozen meals. Now, when it comes to the frozen meals, Amy's, AMY's, they usually sell them at like if they're in like the healthy aisle or whatever, because they're supposedly organic or whatever. Them Amy ones, now I'll tear those up. And then also the burritos that she has, I'll tear those up. Okay. Yeah, I'll tear those up. Amy's makes really, if you want, like, I mean, are they really all that healthy? No. Some of them are. Some of them are. But in relation to you actually like cooking like real food, yeah. Is it better than like a Hungry Man? Yeah. But the Amy's ones, those are good. I think she got like a chicken enchilada one. That's like real good. I love the burritos. Ugh, a burrito sounds so good. Oh yeah, Trader Joe's has really good frozen. Trader Joe's has really damn some Trader Joe's damn, what is it? The dumplings, the little chicken dumplings. They got the pork ones too. Chow. Yeah, the mac and cheese, the Amy's mac and cheese is good. Dang, y'all got me hungry. Yeah, I would never get on the apps for myself, but I would love to get on there and make a fake profile and just troll a ton of men. Honestly, because I was thinking about doing it a couple months ago, but I'm like, dude, I don't even have the time. I don't even got the time to do that. Now I got the time to do that. If y'all want me, once this is saved and y'all get this far in the live stream, if y'all want me to do a fake dating profile series, please let me know because I 1,000% will. Because that would be fun. Because those men would be blocking me. Oh man, I would be frustrating the hell out of those men. Having them get as far as possible on the date. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I'm almost there. Careful, you'll get banned for life if they realize it's not you. Yeah. Oh well, I don't care. It ain't like I would be using it for my personal use anyway. It ain't like I wonder if I could sign up with an email. I feel as though if I were to sign up with like a new email, it would be harder for them to like know. Because I feel like if you sign up with everything, like, because I've deleted all of my dating profiles, I don't have any. But I feel as though if I signed up with something completely fresh, it would be a little bit harder. Like I can't use the same like number that I use with like a past dating profile. That would just make it easier for them to find me. I'd have to make like a whole new email account. Like I would have to have it be completely, different. I couldn't have any of my credentials match. One of the girls that I used to work with, she got banned from a dating app because I guess she was trying to promote her OnlyFans on there because they don't, even if you hint at sex work on there. Okay, even if you hint for like a pay per meet on there, I guess they're banning your ass. And I guess she got kicked off of Bumble because she was trying to get her some sugar daddies. Yeah, I would wanna, I definitely would take a lot of pride in getting banned from an app, from a dating app. That would be pretty awesome. Because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get banned. Because the thing about it is that if you piss off so many men, they'll report you. And then once they report you so many times, they're gonna kick you off the app anyway. So I mean, at some point I'll get banned from the app because they're gonna report my ass. They're definitely gonna report my ass. And men are so sensitive. Men are so sensitive, they're gonna run right away. Report, report, report. Yes, ma'am, you are on the right track. Yeah, girl. I gotta make sure the hands are 100% clean before we get them dirty. Yeah, you're right. That's the thing. Just to match them once you got the number two. True. Yeah, you're right. I'll just have to be fast. I have to block them. I have to block them before they can report me. Photoshop Jesus into all your Yeah, like, come on. There no, that would just be so much fun. That would just be so much fun. I troll men on Instagram. I never thought to do it on dating apps. I'm feeling inspired. Yes. I got banned from What's Your Price. They said my ID was fake. Wow, losers. Losers. That's crazy. I was on What's Your Price for a while, for a little bit. Hate when older men act like they don't understand the dynamic, like Leonard, spend the money or scram. You know I don't like you through it. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. There was one guy at work. This was months ago. I definitely mentioned him on a live stream before because he actually wasn't bad looking, especially for him to be 65. He was a neurologist. Um, pretty smart, looked pretty good or whatever. And he's like, I'm looking for someone that I could grow old with. And in my head, I'm like, you're already old. You're past growing old, sir. You're old. What you should have said is, I'm looking for someone to grow older with. Grow old. You grew old already. You're just growing older. Like, what the freak? If they don't like Jesus, Photoshop a lot. Damn, if I had friends, I'd totally troll and pretend my friend likes this guy and show up to the day starting drama or something like that. Oh my God, that would be so funny. That would be so funny. And okay, so TikTok definitely knows that like I get a kick out of hearing people's dating stories because I'm not going back out there. Okay. I'm not going back out there to date. So the only piece that I can kind of get of dating is just living vicariously through people. Like if you feel like you're missing out on dating, all you have to do is either go to YouTube, dating story compilations, or just type in dating stories on TikTok. And two things will happen. You'll be repulsed by ever wanting to date. And then number two, you'll be entertained at the expense of someone else because you didn't have to experience that. It's a win-win for everyone but the person that had to experience it. So yesterday there was a video that came up on my For You page, right? So this girl, she was talking, it didn't happen to her, it happened to her friend. Okay. So I guess the story starts out with her pretty much saying that like she got a phone call from her girlfriend, like screaming in her car, like crashing out in her car. So essentially, her friend had been talking to this guy from a dating app for 2 weeks. I guess it took 2 weeks for them to meet up because they had a lot of scheduling conflicts, whatever. So they finally meet up. They go to I guess like he has a good job, he's well spoken, he's intellectual, he checked all the boxes for this guy to at least land a date with this woman. So they're there on the first date. Conversation is going, pretty good or whatever. And I guess like before the date starts, this is always a red flag to me, okay? Whenever a man at the beginning of a date says, anything you want, it's all on me, you can order whatever it is that you want, that is bait, okay? That is bait. I've never ever in my life had a guy tell me it's all on me, you can get whatever it is that you want. No one talks like that anymore, okay? First of all, no one talks like that. Men were talking about that in like the tricking era, okay? Like the early 2000s to like 2010 era. Men were talking like that because they actually were like spending a whole lot of money. You're not going to sit here and say it's whatever you want, it's all on me, and the most expensive thing on the menu was like $30. Like, it should be on you. That's cheap as fuck. Like, what are we talking about? So anyway, when they sit down, he's like, yeah, it's all on me, you can get whatever you want, yada yada yada. So, of course, the girl is like mindful. She's not stupid. She's mindful of like another person's pocket. So, she didn't order anything, like ridiculously expensive or whatever. So, essentially, while they're on the date, he asks her if she would be okay with going to a second location. And then she said no. She says that she doesn't want to go to a second location. She's fine with just leaving the first date at where it is, and then they can reconvene and see where they go from that. But she was adamant on there not being a part two to the date. So then, of course, like most men who think that they can use one date as a mild form of hiring a sex worker, is you women are all the same, and you are this and you are that, be this, be that, yada, yada, yada. Now, where she messed up, if you're on a date and a man asks you about the second location before the date ends, don't say no. Okay? Don't say no. You have to pretend like it's going to happen. Okay? So you have to say something like, well, if the date keeps going this well, yeah, I might go on ahead because this date's going really, really well. You didn't say yes, but then you also didn't say no. You have to dangle it in front of them, okay? Because if you say no before the check comes, that's just going to turn into a big thing, and that's exactly what happened. So she said no to the second location before the date ended. The check comes. And essentially, she was like, I could pay my own bill, because she already knew what it was. You know what I mean? She already knew the energy that he was giving. He was going to try to make her pay. So he's like, no, you think I'm going to not be a gentleman and not pay for the bill and yada, yada, yada. So he like takes his card out. He slaps his card. He slaps his card on the table. They go to collect the card. They run it. Doesn't work. So they come back out. Hey, sir, this card doesn't work. Can we use another card or whatever? And so I don't remember if he sent them back with that same card or sent them back with another card. But long story short, they ran that card through. Card didn't work. And they pretty much told him, hey, card don't work. You're going to have to call your bank or whatever. And so, that was that. And so then essentially she had said, you know what? It's fine. I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to pay for the date. Okay, cool. This is the kicker. She pays for the date, and she said that, because mind you, this man, he was going off. He was going off about her saying no. He was going off about the card not going through. She said that she was really embarrassed. She said that actually this is a restaurant that I don't think she frequents, but she does come to. And so she was highly embarrassed by this man putting on a scene like this, because if she were to come back, she would be remembered by being out on a date with this guy. So she wants to hurry up and get out of there, get this date. She pays. And then she says that automatically this man, a wash of calm comes over him once she paid for the date. And she said it was the craziest thing that she ever seen. Like, as soon as she paid for the date, he says, you know what? Thank you so much for covering that. So what are we going to do next? What's part 2 of our date? Can you believe that? Can you believe that? What's part two of our date? So she's over here freaking out because, like, obviously she told him no before he paid, and now she's paid. And now he is thinking that there's going to be a part two because this is obviously planned. He obviously planned this because what he's doing is the investment game. Okay. He's doing the investment game. This is what a lot of men will do. Men will create a scenario in which they have you put an investment, and once they see that, and their whole mind frame is that once you started investing, it's going to be harder for you to walk away. So that's what his game plan was. His game plan was, she's already paid for the date, so it's probably going to be harder for her to want to walk away from this situation. That's because that's what they're telling each other to do. That's what they are telling one another to do. Get her to invest early so that way she will be willing to keep going along with whatever it is that you having to do next. So she's starting to freak out because she clearly can see that this man is mentally unstable. For him to act erratically like that, and then for a bill to be paid, for him to be calm like that, he's not mentally well. So once he is trying to entertain the fact that there potentially is going to be a part two to this date, she's trying to figure out what she should do next for her safety. What does she decide to do? The number one thing that would make no sense for her safety. She decides to go outside with this guy. So now there's no people out there. She decides to go outside with this guy and then tell him, like, no, like, we're not going to a second location. I guess he got all up in her face, where she felt like her safety was going to be in danger. She ended up pepper spraying him, and then she darted to her car, and then she drove off. And so that's when she ended up pulling into her driveway and then calling her friends. I guess she only lived like 20 minutes away from that place. When she went back to the dating profile, because obviously she wanted to tell the authorities about this, when she went back to his dating profile, he blocked her. So she hadn't taken a screenshot or anything. Things like this don't happen by chance. This is 1000% curated. This is 1000% something that he's done repeatedly. This is like his script, because all men have a script. They all have the same tactic that they use on the same women. And this was his tactic. Get her to pay. She said no. She said no the first time. So I'm going to bring a card that has no money on it and I'm going to embarrass her and get her, blood pressure through the roof to the point where she will want this to end. And the only way that it will end is so that she can pay. And then I'll push her further for us to go do something, because now she's paid for the date. And the thing about it is that what cracks me up about that logic is that what the second location is. The second location is going to be either a bar for them to get more drinks. So then the third location can then be his house for them to have sex, or the second location is just going to be his house where there will be liquor and then they will have sex, right? And men really have such a large ego that they don't even realize that having sex with them is like not a guaranteed win most of the time, because they're projecting their sexual experiences onto women. So they in their brain, they're thinking that, oh, well, she'll want to get something out of this. No, because there's no guarantee that I'm going to get it. There's no guarantee that me paying for my meal is going to get you the O. If you pay for my meal and I say yes to the second location, you're guaranteed an O. For women, it's not a guarantee. So women don't have anything to think of future-wise of, I'm going to get something out of this. There's no guarantee on that. So the investment, you're just not going to get a return on your investment. You'll just take the L and move on with your life. Men really think that their sex is so good that it's a possibility for them to be getting used for sex. I'm like, yeah, let me tell you, women are really using men for sex. As a matter of fact, women are using men for sex so often that men have to pay for OnlyFans and men have to pay for prostitutes and sex workers and strippers because women want to use men so bad for sex, they have to pay to be put in a predicament where they get sex from a woman. Yeah, that makes no fucking sense because that doesn't exist. If women were using men for sex, there would literally be no market for sex work. It's because there's no benefit for a woman using a man for sex. How can you use a man for something that he cannot be guaranteed to provide? Like, they're so stupid. They're so stupid. Their ego literally will be so big that they will sit here and tell themselves a lie when social proof is showing us the complete opposite of what it is. And they really think that they be in there with their little 20 pumps. They really be in there thinking they jackhammering something. Like, please. Please. He 12 pumps in and he already drenched in sweat. Like, are you kidding me? Stamina is on snail mode. Yeah, that's why I'm partnered with the brand Womanizer. So someone commented when I talked about the brand partnership that I have with Womanizer. Someone was like, you shouldn't be partnering with a company that has that brand name, that their name is Womanizer. Okay. The denotation, meaning that, like, when you actually break the word down, because that's the thing too. So one thing that we've done in society is that we never take the denotation of what a word means. So breaking the word down to its most basic parts, and that's the definition. Anyone that's taken a medical terminology class knows that, okay? Everything in medicine is like, it's Latin root words. You break apart the word, both parts together is the definition. In the English language, though, we attach emotion to a word, and then that's what its meaning is. So for womanizer, when you actually break down the denotation of womanizer is just simply the act of doing things that women do. That's what it means. It literally means doing woman things. That's what womanizer is. They've attached the term womanizer to be a man that uses women because there's an emotional attachment to that, when in reality it just simply means the act of doing things that women would do. And I would say, like, self-love and self-pleasure is definitely a woman thing to do. So just in case anybody else says that, that's actually the meaning of womanizer. Okay. But that's why I'm paired with them, or partnered with them, because they make really good toys. Okay. They make really, really good toys. And then, honestly, I don't want, like, these men are getting so desperate because they don't have access to punani. They don't want to pay for punani. They're going to men, okay? And I don't want women getting STDs. I don't want women getting pregnant, especially when they're taking away your rights. I don't want women to have I don't want women to sit here and have, like, a lonely night, and then a lonely night ruining their life. Because the thing about it is that sexually, like, no one ever tells women this and, like, reiterates this to women, but sexually, women, you're at a greater risk sexually because you're the one that can get pregnant, and STDs are passed on easier through penetration from a man to a woman as opposed from a woman to a man. The risk as a woman is so high to be sleeping with these men, especially unprotected. Even if you're in a monogamous relationship, you could be the only one that's monogamous. If only one person is monogamous, you're no longer in a monogamous relationship. And as someone that works in the medical field, do you really want to bet your life on that? You know what I mean? Do you really want to bet your life on love when it comes to your own health, and your own reproductive health? You know what I mean? Because that's on the line too. So that's the reason why I'm partnered with the company, because one night of lust could like legit ruin your life. And I rather have y'all instead of rolling over to send a text, a you up text, I rather you roll over and grab your toy and get it cracking and forget to send the text. They have trans girls now. I'm happy so they can leave me alone. And child, they talk about getting these passports. I wish I had enough money. I would get them passports and send them all over to send them to Thailand. I would deport them to Thailand. If I was the president, that I would be deporting, all right. I would be deporting all these men to Thailand. I would summon my employees to sweep the internet of all these men talking about passport bros, and I'd have these people showing up to these people's house, snatching them up and taking them up over to Thailand. Like, you want to get it, you want to get a passport so bad. We did the work for you. Going straight to Thailand. Get you your lady boy, get you your lady boy, and leave us alone. Girl, a family member is doing it with her boyfriend and she has a copper IUD, but still, I'm like, who knows what can happen? Yes, this is because I'm not okay. I know it probably sounds a little crazy, but I am not pro birth control because I've never taken pro birth control. And it's just simply because I work in the medical field. I work close with OB-GYN. I have plenty of women coming in doing checks for IUD, struggling to get the IUDs taken out. It's just my exposure. And I've had women get DVTs. I've seen women get liver disease from IUDs or just birth control in general. I've just seen too much for me to want to risk my reproductive health to keep a man around. So, no glove, no love, right? If you don't want to wrap it up to prevent STDs and pregnancy, I can't sleep with you. Like, I mean, no, because an IUD can't protect you from STDs. Like, I don't care how much you talk about, it doesn't feel like the real thing, or I can't feel anything, or okay, whatever. There's 80 bajillion kafillion freaking, just like there's a ton of forms of contraception that women have to go through. Women go through taking the pill and the pill don't work. They go taking the shot don't work. They go taking the IUD don't work. It's 1,000 different types of forms of contraception out there, or condoms out there. Just like these women are cycling through all these different types of pills and shots and IUDs, you can cycle through finding a form of protection where it can feel comfortable for you and at no risk to your health at all whatsoever. At no risk to your health whatsoever. You can't tell me that you can't go and get a few different box of condoms and then try them out and then see which one works. No excuse. Yeah, and I've been celibate since March. I just was that lack of peace, that lack of peace that I would have after, like, my post nut clarity just was like fear. Honestly, my post nut clarity literally was fucking fear. I was just like, ugh, like, I don't know. Like, I just started coming up with like all these scenarios in my head. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, there's a condom, but like, what if the man tried to stealth me? Or like, what if there was a hole poked in there? Or like, what if it breaks? Or like, I just had so many things in my brain. And it's like, the fact that the reproductive rights with women, like, you don't really, in some states you have none, in some states you only have a limited amount of time, and if you live in a state that doesn't have any, or if you don't do it in time, the stress of you having to transport to another state, it's just, life is already stressful, and I'm not trying to add more stress into my life. I'm just not trying to do that. And so that the peace that was guaranteed with me by being celibate was enough for me to just decide to be celibate. So, and there is not a time in my life where I've been like, oh my God, like I'm just so lonely. Like I'm just craving it so bad. It's like, no. And not only that, like I've only been in Florida since April. Like I don't know anybody here. I haven't met or been trying to meet anybody here. Like I'm not even trying to put myself in a predicament of getting to know someone, to trust someone, to even do that. Like only reason why I was doing it was because I knew the person from back home, and he was the only person that I was even involved with because I actually knew him. Yeah, and I'm not trying to have that deeper spiritual exchange by like having their flesh. Like, no, at least condoms can reduce that a little bit. Getting a divorce now, going back to that, I want to be unbothered and left the fuck alone. Yes, like I don't know. I think having period schmecks, you are less likely to get pregnant. Yeah, you're less likely to get pregnant. It's really your ovulation. That's the most that's your most fertile during your ovulation window. Mm-mm. No. Yep, she said along with condoms, get tested right before they act. Hell yeah. Cause oh my god, like these men, like oh my goodness, they're putting their they're putting their stuff in everything. Like I remember, do y'all remember that movie Outbreak? It was a movie from the 90s, and essentially the movie started off with this guy that got some monkey, and then the monkey bit him, and then he got sick as hell, and then he flew a plane sick as hell, and then it turned out that he it wasn't really Ebola virus, but I'm just going to call it Ebola virus. He pretty much had Ebola virus, and Ebola virus was like all over the place or whatever. Um, yeah, I highly doubt that that's actually the story of how those things get transmitted, because a lot of the time that stuff will come from animals, they say. No, that stuff is coming from animals because men are putting their dipstick in there. That's the reason why. And it's like, no, mm-mm. if if they don't care about what they're sticking their thing in, I don't want to be with a group of species that just have that lack of control, like that lack of control. Like their lower nature just drives them to just do anything, and it's pathetic. Like it's really 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 pathetic. I remember one time there was a girl, once again, it's like these dating stories. I love a good story on TikTok. Like I'm addicted to these damn stories. I'm addicted. So there was one like story. I'm sure you guys heard of it or whatever. But I guess there was like a girl who had been seeing this guy or whatever, and I guess like down there she was having like some discharge, and she was having like an unusual smell. Things were just not okay down there. And they tested her for everything, and I guess like she had a trace of something, and they were like, yeah, like this thing that you tested positive for is something that like you would only like find in corpses. Like this is only something that dead people can create from their body. It's like from their bodily fluids or whatever. And yeah, it's because the guy that she was dealing with was literally sleeping with corpses. I don't know how he got access to one. I don't know how that was possible, but yeah. And then there was another girl, y'all. I got stories for days. There was one girl that made a video. So I think it was her boyfriend. Yeah, it was her boyfriend. So when her boyfriend wasn't around, she would have her like toy or whatever. And so when her boyfriend wouldn't be home, she would like use her toy. And I guess she started noticing that like she started getting like a lot of like urinary tract infections and like BV, and there were other things that were going down there or whatever. And so she went to the doctor. They did the same thing. They had like ran all the tests, and it was like E. coli or something. It was something that could only be through your fecal matter. Her boyfriend was taking her toy, putting it in his back end, and then he literally was just rinsing it off with water. He wasn't even cleaning the toy. So every single time that girl was doing that, her boyfriend had like residual poop on it that was pretty much causing her to get sick. Like, that's crazy. Like, using it is one thing, but you're using it and then rinsing it off with water, like the more and more you like, I'm sorry, it's so hard to like them. It's so hard to keep liking them when you hear about these things. It's so hard to keep having an interest in them because it's like, not all men can't have me look past that. Not all men can't have me look past that, because if I deal with a man, there's a chance that the man that I deal with is going to do one of the crazy thousand nefarious things that men have done. And that's what's crazy. If we can name like 10,000 things that nefarious men have done, and then we say not all men, that means that people that say not all men, that means that they're saying that, okay, at least one man will do that thing. Okay, well, when men are uniquely doing a ton of fucking nefarious things, even if it is one, that means that if the 10,000 nefarious things are done, that means that there's 10,000 nefarious things being done by 10,000 men. Minimum. Minimum. Like, men do, like, they do so many crazy things that the power isn't even in the number of who does it anymore. It's the power is in the amount of things that they're doing. Like, no, I'm not going to take my chances. No, thank you. Help. Just started talking to this guy, and he told me multiple times that I don't show interest in him. How should I respond? Show interest in these bills, and I'll start showing interest in you. Start showing interest in providing for my upkeep, and I'll show interest in you. Men don't get to receive interest based off of who they are. That's the reason why you're not showing any interest in him, because he's not doing anything to make you be interested. Men know this. Men know that if they want a woman to be interested in them, that Cash App needs to be making a sound. The PayPal, I need a notification from PayPal. I need something paid for. Men really think that we should be showing an interest in them based off of who they are. No. No. Only Pygmisha likes men for who they are. He's pretty much asking you, why aren't you being a Pygmisha? Why aren't you being a Pygmisha and giving me credit for doing the bare minimum? No. Pay these bills, financially provide in some way, and then that will make me like you. If you don't want to do that, well, then I guess I'm never going to like you. Because last time I checked, men, you know where men are the prize at? Men are the prize in only one place. Men are the prize in prison. Men are the prize in jail. Okay, that's where men are the prize at. Men are the prize in a place where men have no access to women, and so the only thing that they can have access to is another man. That's the only time a man is the prize. They're not the prize anywhere else. There's no location or any other place that they are the prize. You want to be the prize? Tell them. You want to be the prize? Go to jail. You want to be the prize? Go to prison. Especially if he look good, you gonna be they gonna give you a silver platter in jail. You're gonna feel like a king when you in jail. Yes. Yes. Like, no, go to where these places are that these criminals are at. They're going to treat you great there. Guarantee they're going to treat you wonderful there. They won't be able to keep their hands off of you in there. And yes, always text inconsistently. Literally had a man get mad at me saying I need to check up on him every day. The audacity. Check up on him every day. Is he like a vet animal or something? I don't care to check up on these men every day. Go live your life. Go literally live your life. I don't care what you're doing. Ladies' night is every night in prison. Exactly. Spartan romance. Oh my god. Is that like anime? Oh, especially if they keep going back to jail. Especially if they keep going back to jail. If a man is constantly going back to jail, yeah, it's because he wants to be there. Okay? It's because he likes being there. He's enjoying what the men have to offer him in jail, okay? Because it sure as hell ain't the food, and it sure as hell ain't the shower pressure. All right? He's going back because the men are there. So he's getting let go, and then he's purposely doing a crime to get caught, and he's like, "Yes, take me back. Take me back." He in the car talking about some, we going to the same jail, right? We going to the same jail. They're not overcrowded or anything, are they? Why is this guy asking me about why is this guy asking me about a overcrowded jail or whatever? Why is he asking me that? He want to make sure his lover is still there. He want to make sure he don't got to start all over in a new jail. So he want to make sure you're going to the same place. Finish what he started. Aren't those body cam videos something else? When I watch body cam videos and I see the police, I'm just like, dude, our justice system is a joke. Our justice system is a freaking joke. I had a dude tell me the Marines are gay and lacking in intelligent once. I get it. Oh no, 100%. Honestly, the Marines, Army, Navy, okay, those are essentially are for number one men that didn't have enough money to pay for an education if they decide to get an education after, but also number two, a lot of men that weren't cool in high school, not popular in high school, men that have a short man complex or a Napoleon complex, And men that, were bullied, they always fell short. They never got to be the captain of the football team. They never got to be the captain of the wrestling team. They never were the cool kid in high school. In addition to all the other things, usually men that are a part of their archetypes, they tend to go into those types of things. Also with like police officers and stuff like that, men that get into any position where they can have power, where they can possess a certain amount of power, yeah, it's because they grew up without being able to have any, and everyone's asserted their power over them. Because I like short men, okay? Could you guess? Could you guess what majority of these short men that I run into are these short men that I'm attracted to? Could you guess what line of work they tend to do? Yeah, it's usually Army, Navy, Marines. It's usually some of those, one of those sectors of work where they get to assert power and dominance because they can't do it in any other way. I'm not short with this AR-15. I'm not short with this rifle. Well, I know they're not probably using a rifle, but you know what I'm saying, right? That's the reason why did you guys ever watch that Spike Lee documentary of talking about Hurricane Katrina? It was really really good, but it's on Netflix. And you can actually see their thought process when it came to when they had to deploy the National Guard for Hurricane Katrina, because they had all of these people, they had no place to take them for housing, they had no food to give them. They literally created a whole plan, because it was a whole plan. They created a whole plan to get these people in survival mode. And then when these people wanted to overcome being in survival mode, because it's not called looting. Okay, when you're forcing people to have no shelter, no food, no water, that's not looting when they're trying to do that, when you easily could supply those things to them. That's not looting. Those are literally people that are fighting for their survival. They were shooting at these people, threatening to shoot at these people, threatening to kill these people, and it literally took for their black sergeant that just happened to live in New Orleans, and he grew up in New Orleans, so he had a sense of empathy for those people. It literally took for him to come in and yell at these men. He was really yelling, "Put your goddamn guns down, put your goddamn guns down." He was really screaming at these men, screaming at these men, because that's the most amount of power that they've been able to presume in their life. Nice, I can actually shoot this person for looting, when in reality you're creating this false sense of power because these people are in survival mode, and you're purposely curating that because you want to be able to feel more powerful because your finger is on the trigger, and you want people to be able to fear you because you're in a position of power. I think one of the statistics in that video on like 100 reasons why men are evil, even though I did the video in under 10 minutes and I only got to number 83. There was a statistic that said that men judge their EQ to be higher than what it is, but they test lower in EQ more than women. Men are emotionally stunted for multiple reasons. Socially, they've been influenced. Biologically, they're influenced. Neurologically, they're influenced. Because, well, number one, men don't have as many mirror neurons as women. Women have more mirror neurons than women. So, because of that, women are able to pick up on another person's emotional cues. We're able to pick up when someone's mood has changed. whatever emotion that they're currently expressing. We have a higher level of empathy because our brain supports it. Men don't have as many mirror neurons. So men have a harder time picking up on emotional cues. They have a harder time being able to, read the room because they can't look at a person and be able to know if somebody is upset or angry or something like that. Like they don't have any understanding of that. And then also when you factor in like socially, well, socially men are wired to repress their emotions because emotions are a feminine thing, a girly thing, a thing that makes them weaker. So when you can't be in tune with your own emotions, how can you be in tune with anybody else's? How can you pick up on somebody else's emotions when you're living a life of repressing yours? So there's multiple reasons why. It's not just one reason, but those are a couple. So unattractive, being emotionally lacking, and they be bragging about other things as if that matters when they're like that. Yeah, because what men don't realize is that, see, this is the thing. Men take dating advice from other men. But the thing about it is that the men that give them the advice understand the hierarchy before men and women. So this is why I said earlier in the live stream, men will sit here and complain and they'll say, well, women should be listening to men. Why are you taking advice? Why are you taking advice from women when it comes to men? Because men are dishonest. So just like how men are dishonest with the dating advice that they give to women, what do you think they're doing to men? They're being dishonest with the advice that they're giving to men because they want to make money off of those men. So, what men aren't realizing is that the dating advice that men are giving them is for them to get another man, it's not for them to get a woman. Men are over here giving the dating advice. Ignore her. Don't text back. Be unbothered. Be rough with her. Be rough with her in bed. That's what men want because that's what men do. That's what men tend to do. No, they're telling you what to do to get you another man. Get these big old muscles. Get this outrageous truck. Get an F-150 and put 40-inch tires on there. Yeah, those are all the things for you to appeal to a man. That's what men want. Women don't want any of that. But because men dismiss everything that women say, they're never going to listen to what women want. They rather have it come from a man, even when a man is giving him the advice on how to get another man. And they're sitting here wondering why they're DL. They're sitting here wondering why they're having these fantasies about getting bent over with a man behind them. Yeah, because they've been groomed to want another man. Work hard, keep your head down, don't talk to nobody. Just live in this thing of loneliness. Oh well, there goes the male loneliness epidemic because you got this guy and this guy and this guy telling all these men that they don't need any friends, they don't need to talk to anybody, they need to be antisocial, and then these men are wondering why they want to off themselves. Now these men are wondering why they're super depressed. These men are wondering why their testosterone is low. Like the call is coming from inside of the house. Like this is literally just the advice that men are taking because other men are giving it. But we'll sit here and tell women that we should be listening to the advice of men. The advice that you're taking from men isn't even helping you out. So it would make you think that it would help us out. Your own people are leading you astray and not getting you the desired results. Because I think it was Myron from Fresh and Fit. He just got exposed like 2 weeks ago because his girlfriend, and I knew that they were dating. I think her name is Angelica. Um, I think she came from like, I don't think she came from Brazil. I don't remember. But she used to assist him in like his Fed Reacts video or whatever. He was paying for her lifestyle, okay? He was paying for her lifestyle, simping over her, which is what he tells all of his loyal followers not to do. You're not supposed to simp over these women. And she wouldn't even have sex with him. They said that yeah, it's Venezuela. Yeah. Um yeah, they said that she wouldn't even sleep with him. And I guess rumor has it allegedly there was a video of her. Well, I've seen the video, so that's not alleged. But she was like roller skating with another man and allegedly she ended up breaking up with him. Yeah, he's gay as hell. He's gay as hell. There's no way that he's straight. And that transplant, that hair transplant that he got from Turkey, I hope he got a refund because that shit's back balding again. That shit is back balding again. So I hope he had a warranty or he can get a free revision because it's starting to look mighty thin. I don't know what man is stressing him out, but it's probably stressing him out because he can't be free about being a man. You can go back to Turkey all you want for them transplants. Your hair would probably fall a lot slower, probably wouldn't fall out at all if you just came out. Yeah, that balding is 100% spiritual. That balding is 100% spiritual. Like, no, whoever his spiritual guide is, they're over him. They're literally over him, and they're like, until you come out the closet, your hair is going to be shit's going to be getting balder and balder and balder until you come out the closet. Yeah, and the thing about it is that he was an unsuccessful fitness creator. So he tried to make content in the fitness niche, and this man didn't even know how to do a lunge. He didn't even know how to do a lunge. It was disappointing. And so once he realized that he couldn't make it in regards to fitness, that's when he started in the niche that he is now, the current niche that he's in now, because that's what a lot of these people do. A lot of these people, they're like, well, shit, I can't, because a lot of men start in fitness, but fitness is so saturated and oversaturated, and people are starting to catch on. And then, not to mention, everybody's on that damn shot. Ain't nobody thinking about fitness anymore when they could just put a needle in them once a week. So, yeah, so a lot of these like grifting people that you see, especially the men, a lot of these men start in fitness or they try to start in like motivation or self-help, but like that's also like a very like oversaturated niche. No, but seriously, I bet you if he came out straight, his hair would be thriving. His hair would be nice. Because one thing about a man that's out the closet, baby, their hair is usually very, very nice, very, very full. They tend to have nice full eyebrows. They tend to have real good skin. Like a man that's out the closet and then knows that he living in his truth, they usually are flourishing. Honestly. Yeah, he was an investigator. So like he ended up creating that Fed Reacts. I think that's the name. It's called Fed Reacts. He had like worked for the FBI or something. And so he was like, I don't know if he's still doing it, but he would do like cases, like covering like any FBI cases to like piggyback off of his like background. Yeah, there's a few gay guys in my pole dancing classes, and like for the most part they look pretty good. They do. They look pretty good. Someone asked about me doing workout videos. I don't really go to the gym anymore. Pole fitness has like literally been all that I've been doing. Um, I feel like I've been losing some more weight, but I've been doing it very, very slowly. So it's been kind of hard for me to really tell because the scale's like not really moving. The scale never moves for me because I build so much muscle so easy. So like I was looking at a before and after on my phone from like my first bodybuilding show, from like my very first check-in picture to let me think. I think it was like 2 days out before my show, and, like, it was only a freaking, like, 10-pound difference. I was shredded. Will pole dancing give you scars? It won't give you scars, but the biggest thing is that, like, you need to make sure that you're moisturizing when you're not doing pole. I think that's, like, the most important thing. So I use this, hold on. So, like, I use this, like, milk and honey whipped butter. It's by, Udain Cultural Solutions, and, it has, like, all natural ingredients in it, but milk milk naturally has AHA in it, which is kind of like, it helps you with, like, dry skin and scaly skin and things like that, and can help prevent darkening of the skin. So, like, I remember when I first started polling, like, I wasn't really moisturizing a lot because you never wanna moisturize before a pole, obviously, but, like, your skin has to get used to, like, different contact points of, like, gripping the pole. So, when I had first started climbing the pole again, like, the back foot that I would use on the pole, it was a little bit, like, dark on my foot, but now it's not dark anymore. It's not dark anymore. And then if you do, like, choreo classes, you can use, like, knee pads. You just use knee pads, that way you're not, like, darkening up your knees, but the biggest thing is just to stay moisturized. Stay moisturized when you're not at pole. So, like, at night before you go to sleep, make sure that you moisturize. The idea of paying for a man gives me goosebump. It's just so lame. And then not only that, the point of even being with a man and he's not advancing my life. Ugh. Like, I can't believe that there are married people living paycheck to paycheck. What's the fucking point? I could be living paycheck to paycheck with my peace, with my sanity, with my risk of being cheated on, getting an STD, getting pregnant, completely eradicating that. You mean to tell me we're living paycheck to paycheck and I got to deal with your anger, your temper, the potential of you cheating on me, the potential of me potentially getting pregnant, my stress increasing, and we're living paycheck to paycheck? No. Bye, Auntie 3. Thanks for joining. Like, hell no. Hell no. And not only that, you're going 50-50, still living paycheck to paycheck. What is the point of going 50-50 then? You're going 50-50 for survival. That's terrible. That's terrible. If your survival is based off of you going 50-50, that's crazy. I'm sorry. Like, that's absolutely crazy. Thank you. I will live in my car. I will put my name on the list of a shelter. I'll move back in with my parents. I will do all of those things before I ever get in a relationship with a man and reduce my costs because we can split the costs. Mm-mm. Because a lot of the time when people get married, it's just two dumbass people with bad habits getting married. Yeah, your 50-50 is going to go very, very far when you have bad habits and then the other people has bad habits. All that's gonna happen is that y'all are both gonna bond over the fucked up habits that you have, and then y'all both are gonna be broke as hell. especially with men. A lot of the time, men put their bad habits onto women, and women will want to keep the man so bad. She literally will be like, well, I'll just develop his bad habits because then we can bond more, and then I won't have to worry about him cheating and yada, yada, yada. And then everything goes downhill. Everything goes downhill at that point. Yeah. I no. Mm-mm. And Little Miss Masculine from the other video. If you didn't watch the video, my quitting my job video, the title's called "I Have Had Enough." If you didn't watch the "I Have Had Enough" video or whatever, chow. And like I hate to make it racial, but it's just an observation. It's usually white women that go 50-50. It's usually white women that go 50-50. And like this was a white girl that has started at my job, and she's in her masculine era because she moved here from Iowa to Florida with her no job boyfriend. Her no job boyfriend. So she's 100% providing for the both of them. And she's like, well, when we were working, we were going 50-50. And I was like, my jaw dropped. I'm like, so you went from 50-50 to him not working. And that's why when she told me, she was like, well, if I don't like this job, I'm just going to start traveling for work. And that's what I told her dead to her face. I said, if you start traveling for work, your man's never getting a job. He's never getting a job. Why would he get a job? If you already were together with him going 50-50 and now his 50-50 has been reduced to 0% and you're still with him, why would he want to work? What incentive does he have to work? It's the dumbest thing. Queen, my mom told me to dress modest, and she did this with her sisters too. And they listen, yet they're still lonely. Like, that's my style. Girl, dress how you want. Dress how you want. Men are not, I'm telling you, men are not thinking in their brain, oh, she's dressed so modestly. I'm putting her up on a pedestal. They're not thinking that. It's just a talking point that they use to pit women against each other because they wanted the satisfaction of women doing something that they're telling them to do. They're not actually over here having this equation in their brain. Oh, modesty. I want her to be modest. Are you kidding me? If that were the case, these IG baddies wouldn't have like 80% male followers. Like, no, they don't want you to be modest. They just want you to do what they say. That's the difference. Same thing as them saying that they want you to have a low body count, but then when you're with them, they want you to be experienced and they want you to be a porn star in bed. No, it's not that they don't want you to have a low body count. It's just a simple fact that they want you to actually give a fuck about what they're saying. Because if that were the case, they wouldn't care if you were inexperienced in bed. But no, they want you to have no experience in bed and then pretend as if you have experience in bed. No. Yeah, that's why these men, and see, the thing about it is that a man's ego is never safe around me. A man's ego hate to see me coming. And so there was one guy, and like I literally told him, I was like, this is nothing that I thought it was gonna be. I'm like, I'm really not having a good time with us like doing this. Like, and I told him straight up, I'm like, you're into this more than I'm into this because my performance is better than what your performance is. Like I literally told him that. That was the nicest way that I could say it. He's like, well, no other, hold on. He's like, well, no other woman's ever said that before. No other woman's ever said that before. And I'm like, I said, but I'm sure other women have thought it. They just didn't tell you. I'm sure other women have thought it. They just simply did not want to tell you because we know how fragile men's egos are. But trust me, these women are over here thinking, you know what? No, because Like, honestly, men have to understand, if you didn't get a repeat customer, if you haven't had a repeat customer over and over and over and over again, it's not good. Like, honestly, it's not good. Women want to go back to the same thing that they know and that they enjoy. Women don't want to get to really know another person over and over and hop from peen to peen to peen to peen. Like, usually we're struggling when we're in that phase of our life. Usually mentally, we're struggling with some trauma when we get to that point. But in reality, if we find a good thing, we tend to want to hold on to that one thing. No woman liked what you had going on if she was gone quick, fast, and in a hurry, and you couldn't get her to come over again. No, that means she didn't like what you had to offer. Yeah. Another woman, these women haven't said that. Yeah, but they thought it. They just didn't say it. They just didn't say how they truly felt. No, like, you're getting a review on your performance. Like, duh. Like, women do lie, women do hide the truth. Like, come on. Like, let's not be stupid here. Let's not try to play to our ego. He's mad that you're going on dates. Yeah, because they think because a divorce is happening, especially if they leave you first, especially if they're the ones that want to initiate the divorce, they think that you're going to sit here and boo-hoo and cry and let yourself go, let yourself get ugly, not date nobody, not go talk to someone. That's what their expectation is. That's what their expectation is. And so when they see, oh shit, she's not giving me the reaction that I was expecting. That's when they get mad and get off the rails. That's why once you know a man's script and you get off script of what he has scripted for you, they're always going to get upset. The best thing that you could do as a woman is to get off script. The script that they have for you as a woman, just completely divert for what they have scripted to you or scripted for you. Don't tell them what they're bad at so they never get better. Child, men's egos are so big they won't even listen anyway. Their men's ego won't even let them get better even if they wanted to. Their ego is feeding them all the lies they need to hear. You could tell them all the improvements that they would need to make until you're blue in the face. Baby, that ego is gonna block all the words that you said anyway. It ain't gonna do a lick of good. And the thing about it is that this guy, like, he was actually well endowed. And so in his brain, like how most men think that are well endowed, they just think, oh, I'm well endowed. Well, that's enough. No, once again, it's a projection. These men are watching corn, okay? And they don't want to admit it. When they're watching corn, they're paying attention to the man's equipment. They're not paying attention to the woman. The woman is just to the man's disposal. They're looking at what the man is working with. So in a lot of these men's brains, they're just projecting the experience that they're having when they're viewing that, and they're projecting it on to women. Like, no, like, women can look at that shit and know that, like, that doesn't really look like a good time. That does not actually look enjoyable. But these men are like, yeah, that thing looks huge. That thing looks gigantic. Yeah. Like, no. They're just projecting the fact that they are admiring a big dingling. That's really what it is. Hey, Queen, I left Shira's live to come to yours. Aw, well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Or they'll say he's not pleasing her right. And it's like, okay, tell me exactly how. Yeah, okay. older men that have their ego in check. We have to add older men that have their ego in check. We can't leave it at older men because social media has propped up older men so much through the likes of Manosphere. It's a lot of men out here who are fucking 65 years old thinking that they're the prize. It's like, sir, you need to take your blood pressure medication. You need to take your diabetes medication. Like, sir, you're not the prize, okay? You're literally not the prize. What are you talking about? No, it's older men that have their ego in check that are going to spend money on you. These men that are older and they don't have their ego in check, they're going to be like, I'm not spending all that money. I'm the prize because Kevin Samuel said so. Like, okay. And where is he now? Where is he now? Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Dead beneath in the ground. Worm food. Oh my goodness. Whenever I would get those male patients who were older, oh my God, they would get, you want to annoy a man. Okay. You want to annoy a man without him being able to angrily express anything to you. Just have a flat face. If they like literally, if they make a joke, just have a flat face. There, and the thing about it is that men suck so bad at visual cues because like I said earlier, they have less mirror neurons than women. This is the reason why men can't pick up on when they make women feel uncomfortable because men literally don't have the ability based off of their brain chemistry to pick up on different emotions, different feelings, level of empathy. They neurologically they don't have the ability to. So that's the reason why men will keep pushing. So they'll tell a joke and you don't laugh at the joke. Here's another one. Wait. Here's another one. And it's like, bro, the first one wasn't funny. Like, I'm sure the second one isn't going to be funny either. Like, it's very clear that I'm not entertained. I just keep my face flat. And then eventually, once they realize that, like, the shit wasn't funny, the first joke, the second joke, or the third joke, they just stop. They just stop. It really does take that many times. But as long as you stay in character and you just stay flat face, you give them no reaction, I promise you they're just going to stop. I promise you. And they won't even, they're just going to be like, and then the thing about it is that their ego will be so big that they'll think that you're the crazy one. Their ego is so big that when you keep a flat face, they're gonna go tell someone, "Yeah, man, I went to the doctor today, and it was this girl, and she did my ultrasound, and you know that joke I would tell Veronica, when we were together, and Veronica would laugh, I would tell Veronica that joke, and can you just believe that crazy girl? She just kept the same face, she just didn't make a face at all. She didn't laugh, she didn't smile, she didn't do anything. That lady's crazy, right?" That's how they're gonna tell. That's how they're gonna tell the story to like the Joe Schmo that they're friends with. In their brain, you're the crazy one because you didn't laugh at a joke that he's only told one other woman who, in reality, was just laughing because she just didn't want to hurt his feelings. Men only need confirmation bias one time. That's all it takes. Men literally only need confirmation bias one time for it to be a belief system with them. This is also the reason why men are not all that adventurous in bed. This was something that I had to realize too, because I would ask men, I'm like, who told you to do this? Like, who said that this was okay? Oh, well, my last girlfriend, she liked it when I did it this way. So I just assume all the other girls like it this way. Confirmation bias. You had one experience with someone long enough, and then you think that that's enough for you to think that you're really good in bed and that you know what you're doing. No, like Me and that girl don't have the same vagina. Like, and I literally told that guy, I literally asked that guy too. I was like, do me and your ex-girlfriend have the same vagina? Well, no. Okay, so then it's not going to be the same. Like, I need you to think. Like, literally, you literally have to make them feel stupid for them to be able to get the point. That a book is definitely the next thing that I plan to work on. I'm still working on the whole planner thing because I started making the template for the planner literally back in February. Now that I have time, I'll be able to finish the template so that way I can get the planner sold. But I'm definitely going to start typing. Literally going to start typing out for a book because yeah, a book would be pretty cool. I would love to write a book. That would be awesome. There's so many. Well, you already said what men don't want you to know by I think it's Doe and somebody else. I can't remember. Or is it Why Does He Do That? Either one is pretty good. What Men Don't Want You to Know. Why Does He Do That? Um, there's a lot. Oh yeah, the jokes are 100% never jokes. This is why I keep a flat face. This is why I keep a flat face. And they will say it too. I can't get you to laugh, huh? I can't get you to laugh, huh? Keeping a flat face, not responding, not reacting, not doing a goddamn thing. Death and robots. I need to look into that. But yeah, I'm like, excuse me, I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, like clearly you're just trying to joke because in your brain like you legit want a reaction. Cuz reactions are forms of energy even if it's negative. That's the thing, men don't care. Men reap greatly off of the energy of women that they don't even care if it's negative energy. Like men literally don't care. You could be screaming at them, cussing them out, yelling at them. They don't care because it's still a form of energy that they get to siphon from you. This is why I give them nothing. I give them nothing. I don't look at them. I don't have conversations with them. I give them nothing. Oh my God, he seduced her and made her fall in love to take from her. That actually made me cry when I saw it. Oh God. Oh God. All right. I don't know. I don't know if I could handle a movie like that. It may make me more angry. Because that's the thing too, with creating this content and also talking about men and having to like look up things and like kind of curate the content that I take in so that way I can have like kind of like more ideas about what to talk about or whatever. Um Even I have to take a break from that stuff sometimes because I mean, I kid you not, there are some days where if I take in too much content, I just want to go out in public with a baseball bat and I just want to start swinging at them like for no reason. And like I'm so serious. Like I literally just want to take a baseball bat and just start swinging at every man that I see. So, that's why I also have to be mindful of the content and stuff that I take in or at least how much of it that I take in. Cause yeah, it can be enough to make you want to hate them. And then also like pole dancing helps too because like I think that's one thing that I like about pole dancing because there's so many different styles. I think when I was more male centered, I cared about like being more sensual in my dance and being like like there's a style of dance that they call slinky, because like I guess when like you play with a slinky, it's kind of like all one thing. Like when you go to one side, it just like and then it goes back. It's very like fluid. So they like have a style of dance in pole dance called slinky. And like that's when you have like fluid movements, so, like a lot of body rolls, a lot of like back arches, a lot of like leg movement, and like very, very flowy. I still do slinky classes more so for like my own level of embodiment, because like I'm trying to like still embrace the body that I um live in, you know what I mean? But I also like the hard style dance. So they ended up coming up with like they have like Russian exotic hard style. And so that style is derived by very like quick, aggressive movements. You do a lot of like high impact things that kind of require you to like have impact on the ground. So kind of like kips where you like are on your back and then you like flip up like real fast. It's real fast, aggressive, like hard, punchy choreography. Um Essentially I like doing that style of dance because it kind of it can I can get rid of my anger. I can get rid of my anger when I have that style of dance. Dang, I have to watch this. Okay, I'm going to watch it today. I'm going to watch it when I get off of here actually. What is it called again? Forgot already. I'm trying to scroll up and see what it's called. It was the robot movie. You said it was robots and something. What was it called again? I'm like really interested in seeing the movie now. Death and Robots. Okay, well I'm just gonna write it down. Bye, the real Viva. Love, Death, and Robots. Okay, I'm watching that once I get off of here. I'm watching that once I get off here. Today was the first day that I put on makeup and I don't know how long. Also, I ordered me a wig because I cut off all the dead hair in the front because I was waiting for it to grow out a little bit because I needed enough hair to be able to pin my hair down. So that's why I kind of let it like grow out and I let it be dead for so long. The end because only this part of my hair was damaged because I had it in a leave out last summer. So that was the only part of my hair that had been straightened and heat damage. I'm not cutting off 90% of my hair because 10% of my hair is damaged. That's stupid to me. And I'm trying to grow out my hair. Um, so I'm gonna get all this. I ordered the wig. I'm just waiting for it to come. I'm gonna get all this braided down and then go back to wearing my wigs. I hate when I speak my mind in the truth and I'm instantly called bitter, mean, and negative. And you want to know what? This is what you should say. Well, then quit creating experiences that make I said quit creating experiences that make people bitter, mean, and negative. Quit creating experiences for people that would make them that way. People are not going into situations hoping to be bitter. People are not going into situations hoping to come out mean. People are not going into situations hoping that they're angry. No one walks into a situation hoping that they're any of those things above. If you don't want people to be like that, quit giving people experiences that would potentially have them be that way. They want to give you experiences. They want to give you experiences that give you anger, bitterness, meanness, and they want you to be happy still. They want you to be stupid still. They want you to be optimistic still by giving you experiences that are the complete opposite of those. So just like how the key in life to win an argument with a person, do exactly what men do. Flip it back on them. Blame it on them. You're bitter, you're this. Okay, quit making people bitter. Quit making people angry. Quit making people mean. Quit giving them experiences like that. Flip it back onto them. What if I only wear weave, but a guy talks about liking real hair? Tell him go find somebody with real hair then. We not changing over here. You know what I'm saying? We not changing over here because the thing about it is a woman, a lot of like women have phases in their life. Like we have a menstrual cycle. Okay, we have a menstrual cycle that is 28 days. Every week we're a different person. If every week we're a different person, what does that mean for every year? What does that mean for every 3 years? What does that mean for every 6 years? Women are naturally on a cycle to constantly be changing. And that's the one thing about women that men don't want to honor. Men don't want to accept the fact that women change. Women tend to outgrow men in a relationship because that's what we're wired to do. We're wired to change. We go through menopause. That is a change. That completely rewires your hormones and how you even view males as a species at that point once you reach menopause. Your style will be different. Your opinions will be different. No, any man that wants you to just stay the same and he's talking about, oh, I like this, oh, well, like them. Girl, just quit talking to him. Go find the person that you want to be with because guess what? He's gonna find somebody with natural hair, and then guess what he's gonna tell her? You know, I like women that have weaves because it's not about what they like and about what they don't like. It's about you displaying that you're gonna conform to whatever it is that they're saying that they're doing. Men don't men don't have enough options to be that picky. Okay, I'm telling you, men don't have enough options to say, yeah, I quit talking to her because she wore a weave. I'm telling you, men don't have that many options to have weave stop them from dealing with a woman who's fucking pretty still. Come on. It's not going to be enough. And men get a reset. So men get a reset literally every 24 hours. So they don't necessarily wake up a new person because like women are we're kind of a new person essentially every week because um we have our menstrual phase. Well, we have our luteal phase, our premenstrual phase, our menstrual phase, and then our ovulatory phase. So we have 4 phases within our menstrual cycle. And so we're literally a different person every week, essentially. So we don't really get a reset, right? We don't necessarily get a reset. We kind of get a transformation, essentially. Men get a reset every 24 hours. Or if they say, yeah, if they don't, what cracks me up is that if they don't assign a gender to what their preference is, so if they say, I don't like wigs, okay, don't date a man that wears wigs then. Don't date a man that wears wigs then. I don't like weave. Okay, then don't date a man that wears weave then. Simple. Because with a lot of men, especially black men, what they don't realize is that white girls wear weave too. But the thing about it is this, in my opinion, men that talk about weaves and wigs are texturous, in my opinion. Any black man that's harping over wigs and weaves, it's not about the wigs and weaves, you're a texturist because White women have plenty weave. White women get plenty extension. You just can't tell that they have extension because it's closer to the texture of their natural hair. It's the texture that they don't like. It has nothing to do with the fact that there's fake hair, that there's anything fake in their hair. Because other races of women definitely get extensions. I worked with several white women who get extensions. I literally worked with a white woman who would get extensions. Has nothing to do with that. Their texture is. Hi, Queen. Could you make more video reactions? Those were so much fun to watch. Maybe I'll try. I just won't interject in the reactions as much because people would complain that I would, and then I would lose followers. I would lose subscribers. So maybe I'll go back to doing them because I have been thinking about doing them again. Yeah, it's like, no, like any man that ever makes that argument, it's like, because I'll wear my hair natural and black men will go out of their way to say, well, your hair's too short. Your hair doesn't fall down your back. And it's like, yeah, so I have like 3C4A hair, and so that's the texture of my hair. However, there's something called shrinkage. So if I actually straighten my hair would be pretty fucking long. But it has nothing to do with that. It's the simple fact that their texture is like, it's really that simple. You can email me, Orla. Um, my email should be in my bio, but it's queensovereignbeing@gmail.com. Yeah, a lot of white women have tape-ins. That the girl that I worked with, she had tape-ins. And the funny thing about it is that you actually can tell really easily if you pay attention because so with black women, if we wear like it will be obvious if we're wearing a weave because everyone knows the texture of a black woman's hair. So like we already know that like okay, your hair isn't naturally that texture, so it's definitely like a wig or a weave. And then if you have a leave out, like the texture may not like match 100% because white women tend to have thinner hair. It's very it's just easy to tell within the length. It's just easier to tell within the length because their hair tends to be thinner because that's typically why women of other races get extensions. There are plenty of women of other races, their hair is long, it just tends to be more thin, and so they want to get that extension for the hair to be a little bit more full in addition to the length. Yeah, because like my grandmother, her hair is like pretty straight. Like her hair's fine. My cousins, they all have like pretty fine hair. Like I'm like one of the very few that have hair this curly. Like my hair is really, really curly. But then also, I don't know because I've never gotten like a perm before. I've never in my fact I've never in my life got a perm before. So I don't even know. Pretty much everyone else in the family has. Yep, exactly. Yeah, because plenty of the celebrities are wearing wigs, plenty. Like, especially the Kardashians, they wear wigs all the goddamn time. It's so obvious too. And of course, it's maintenance. You know what I mean? The thing about it is that if a man doesn't want you to spend his money, he's going to try to tell you how to spend yours. And men have this thing where when they're in a relationship with you, they want to have all this input on opinions with like how you spend your money. I don't think you should be buying that. You're paying $600 for hair. Okay, dude, no one's talking about the $600 that you've spent because you bought 6 pairs of Jordans this month. Nobody's talking about the $200 that you spent on your fucking video games. Okay, no one's talking about the $800 that you have spent for your body kit for your vehicle. Like when men harp on things about that, on how women spend their money on feminine things, it's just like you want to be with a man, in my opinion, because I don't really hear women complaining about he's spending money on his video games, he's spending money on these Jordans, he's spending money on these gold chains. Like, I don't really hear women complain about that. Women just are just kind of like, that's what he likes, that's what he's spending money on, I guess, whatever. Kenya Moore's hair is super, super, super long and straight. And yeah, so is Kim Porter's. It's just very, very rare. But my cousins, for sure, they don't do anything to their hair and their hair is straight. Their hair is super fine. They complain more than women in their mind what they think. Yes, it's like, and the reason why they do it is because they want to try to get us to care. That's the reason why they complain so much. In their brain, they're thinking, okay, the more that I complain about something, the more it's going to get women to try to conform and make me feel important. Because if I see them doing what it is that I say that I want them to do, I'll actually feel like someone's paying attention to me. And it's like, no, because guess what? You'll start doing the thing, and what's the next thing they're gonna do? Oh, I changed my mind. I want you to wear those wigs and those weaves again. And they've done that through history. In the early 2000s, oh, they wanted you to be Miss Independent. They love the fact that you were ambitious, and they love the fact that you had your own money to spend. They love the fact that you didn't have your hand out. Oh, they loved all of that stuff. Oh, that was the best thing ever. Oh, now you're independent. See, you too masculine, and you need to let somebody help you, and you need to let us provide. They were having money about, oh yeah, we at the strip club and we spending all this money, and bands. Look at all my bands that I got. Look at all this money that I'm making. I can't wait to spend all this money on her and trick on her and do all this. And then all of a sudden, oh, you a simp if you spending money on women. Don't be giving these women nothing. Women deserve nothing. Like, no, they don't know what they want. They don't know what they want. They just simply want you to do what they're telling you to do. It's really that simple. They don't even believe the shit that they're saying. They're just saying it because they want to see you do it. That's it. They love when they don't have to pay for anything, then mad that women see them as useless as exactly. Exactly. It's like, what? Like, I'm the prize. I'm the prize. Pay for me. Well, now I'm emasculated. Don't pay for me. It's like, what the fuck? No, seriously. In the 2010s, it was like, what? Like, men getting their, like, because I know Shira did a video on this, and I kind of wanted to do a video on it too, but in regards to like music. And I want to kind of parallel that with how men are submissive, because whatever the music is telling men to do, whatever the music is telling men to do, that's what men are going to do in most cases. Because I didn't want to do a live stream on that, because it really is media influence. It really is media influence. I think black men hate the fact that they are a simp for straight hair. That's what this video is about. Men being simps for beauty, and so they want you to do the opposite. They want you to do the opposite of everything that they truly desire, because they want to be in a position where it's easier to control you. A man cannot control himself. A man cannot control himself when you are embodying what it is that he really wants. Okay, because men don't say all the time, I don't want you, I want you, I want you dressed up more modest. I want you covered up more. Your Instagram has a ton of women that are naked. Like one of my exes did that. Okay, one of my exes met me on Halloween at a club, and I had on like a leotard with my ass cheeks out. And then within like 3 months of that relationship, we're over here having an argument downtown Chicago when it's September and I have on a t-shirt crop top, high waist jeans and heels, and we're over here having an argument because he thinks that I should be wearing a fucking jacket. And it's like the beginning of September. And he's over here arguing, you're exposing too much. You should be wearing a jacket. So we went from leotard with ass cheeks out to you having me wear a jacket when it's fucking September, early September. We still have residual from the summer. Like, come on. I'm 6 months pregnant, already seeing I am dealing with a homosexual. He has his boxing gym biz, one of the things that attracted me to him, but still lives with parents, poor money skills. Oh, child, I am so sorry. That's terrible. I may never fully rid of this guy, but coexist for parenting. How can I make the best of it? Um, honestly, see, here's the thing. You really can never predict how men are going to be until the child is here. Because the thing about it is that I guess the good thing, exactly, that's what I was gonna say. He's not really gonna provide. I mean, honestly, he lives at home with his parents. He's really not gonna provide. And like because he lives with his parents, he's not really gonna be involved, it sounds like. I mean, honestly, it kind of sounds like you dodged a bullet in a way because at least you don't live with this man. Like at least you aren't tied to him like under the same roof. I honestly think that this guy is just gonna like you're gonna have the baby, and for him, it's just gonna be an event that came and went. I wouldn't put his name on the birth certificate either. I wouldn't put him on the birth certificate if it were me because a man that can't provide for himself isn't going to be able to provide for a child. I mean, it's just not going to happen. And the thing about it is that Lord knows, like the thing about it is that you know how men can get because I don't know if this guy wants there's so much nuance to this, right? Because we don't know everything in totality. So the thing about it is that that's another thing too. Some of these men will like spew all this BS to their family, and then they will be on the side of their son, and then they try to make it seem as if like the mother is this bad person because like she wants him to actually see the child, and it's like there's so much nuance to this, or there can be so much nuance to this question, but I would not put his name on the birth certificate. He didn't have a place to stay. The thing about it is that if this man is living at home, what makes you think that he's going to get a job where they can take child support from him? Like, I mean, I feel like I feel like it's a good idea, but like this man doesn't even, he's living at home with his parents. I mean, I guess he does have like the business or whatever, but this is my thing with men. When men have a level of skimming already, they just skim lower. So like men will literally put the business in another person's name so that way they don't get their wages garnished. Like this guy sounds like a skimmer to me. Oh my God. And you guys only have been together for 7 months? Hell no. I would not put that man's name on the birth certificate. Fuck that. Fuck that. I mean, you're 6 months in, so it's too late to go back now. It's too late to go back now. However, yeah, I wouldn't put his name on the birth certificate. I would just accept that I'm a single mom. If it were me, I would just start planting the seed in my head, start really, really racking up my money, and I just would say, hey, I'm a single mom. I'm raising this child alone. And the thing about it is that this man owns a business. This man owns a business, and it's really, really easy. It's pretty easy to evade having your wages being garnished when you own a business. Because like, you can have multiple LLCs, you can have them in other people's names, you can address them to different people, like, it can be quite a few, loopholes that people will go through, and the thing about it is that it's so crazy because, I'm not gonna spoil it, but I'm gonna do a video on something in regards to this, believe it or not. Yep, I would do the same. I would either, yeah, prepare to be a single mother or adopt, but you're already 6 months in. I'm sure you've already created a really strong bond with that baby. So, because usually when women don't say right away that they want to adopt, it's usually not an option in their brain. And 6 months in, the bond is like, it's really, really strong. It is. It's really, really strong. But yeah, no, seriously, everything will work out. It will. Everything will work out. At least you aren't tethered to this man. That's the good thing. You can you're able to be left to your own devices and like not have to really have him be an issue because at least he's not living with you. Because then you'd be taking care of two people. You be taking care of two people at that point. So at least he's not living with you. Exactly. Cause like, okay, so this is like gonna okay, so you guys remember Casey Anthony? Okay, she was like the woman who pretty much was like let free, even though it was pretty much assumed that like she unalived her daughter or whatever. The thing that's so crazy about that story to me, like, in my opinion, this is a reason why, like, we should stop pushing women to, like, carry pregnancies or, like, keep babies that they don't wanna have, because Casey Anthony made it very clear to her family that she did not want that child and that her original plan was to adopt or have the child be adopted. Her original plan was for her to finish the pregnancy and then for her to have her child be put up for adoption. And her parents pretty much shamed her into keeping a pregnancy that she did not want. They shamed her into keeping a pregnancy that she did not want. If they just would have accepted the fact that she did not want to raise a child that she did not want, that girl would still be alive today. She would still be alive today. Women know what they can and cannot handle. Okay, women for the most part can have an understanding that if a woman can make a decision to know that she can't raise a child and she literally can say, I don't want to do this, I want to put this child up for adoption, and you're carrying the pregnancy, trust me, she knows that she can't raise that child and she has no desire to raise that child. Forcing somebody and guilting and shaming somebody into doing something like that, it's bad for everybody. Literally, no one's going to win in that situation. Yeah, exactly. Very easy. Although it's cultural to live with parents, he's from Ghana. Still no excuse for you want to know what else is cultural for Ghana? For men to be successful. That's cultural too. And it is cultural for the men to be hardworking. A family friend of ours is from Guyana. It's 1,000% cultural for a man to be wanting to be successful and making sure that he is out here hustling. Even owning a business, there are plenty of people who have businesses, men that have businesses and they work a 9 to 5 still to supplement the difference between the money that they may not be earning or maybe like a slow time. What is your advice to women who still want to have children but can do without marriage? Make sure you have enough money and make sure you have a community, whether the community is like friends or family or whether it's something that you can outsource. But the biggest thing is that you need money. You need a lot of money. You don't want to do everything. You don't want to be in this economy doing, everything. I don't know how like far out into the future that you're like looking to do this, but my biggest advice, have yourself be financially together so you can outsource. You can get a nanny, you can get a cleaner. You know what I mean? You can get people to help you. Oh, of course he says, guess it was meant to be because he knows he's not going to take care of the child. Listen, ladies, whenever you fall pregnant or whenever you have the potential of being pregnant, a man's response in that moment is going to tell you how he's going to be as a father. When men have this nonchalant, oh, I may be pregnant or you didn't pull out in time and you didn't, when they have this nonchalant reaction to you potentially being pregnant, it's because they don't have a plan. It's because they don't plan to take care of the child. That's the reason why they can so confidently say, well, I'm pregnant. What are we going to do? Oh, well, we're just going to have the baby. No, we're not just going to have the baby. I'm just going to have the baby. Like it's the experience is going to be different for me and then with you. He's not thinking about the experience of how it's going to impact you. He's only thinking about his experience and how he can live his life as if nothing ever happened. That's why he's like, well, then we'll just have a baby then. We'll just get pregnant then. That's not a big deal because he understands his life is going to go on whether he sticks around or not. He's gonna have the same life. When men are actually out here like freaking out, like, oh shit, like, damn, like that, I can't believe that, like, you're actually pregnant. Like, what it is that we're like, what is it that we're gonna do? Like, what are we gonna do about this? At least the man is kind of making it clear to you that he's like, I really don't think that we should do this because I'm not going to do what it is that I need to do. Like, I'm really not going to do anything. When they're nonchalant, they'll let you sit there and just have the baby and just be like, well, if you struggle, you struggle. Good luck. At least if a man is kind of telling you and freaking out and kind of being like, okay, should we think about this first? At least he's able to have a level of self awareness to say, like, I don't know about this. Like, I may not be able to. He's actually thinking about how it's going to impact him. It's kind of like the point that I'm trying to make. He's actually thinking about how this is going to impact me. And am I going to be able to live up to the life change that's going to come with having this happen? Yeah, we're not pregnant. I'm pregnant. We're not pregnant. I feel like you have to learn how to use the right term for what it is because when women say we're pregnant, no, you're trying to make it seem as if this is just some little thing. When you say we're pregnant, you guys try to make it seem, women will try to make it seem as if it's a team effort. It's not a team effort. He did the easy part. The rest is on you. Like literally the rest is on you. Because a lot of other countries, when women have children, everything is naturally outsourced. They have someone to cook, they have someone to clean, they have someone to transport them around. They have other people that they can rely on to make their life easier. If you don't want, if you are okay with raising the child alone, don't do it alone. If you're okay with like not having a man around, like if you have to create a village because you can't do it alone. You can't. That's the world that we live in. We don't live in a society where you could do it all alone. Yes, my baby daddy was nonchalant, and now I'm lucky if I get $50. Yeah, because I'm telling you, that when they're nonchalant over a pregnancy scare, they don't care if you have the baby or not because they already know they're not going to help you. That's why they don't care. Because I had one guy, I had an ex tell me that, like, because I was a little bit afraid because we had, like, a little whoopsie daisy with the contraception, and so, I literally brought that up to him, and I was like, "Okay, but what if it, like, actually turns out that, like, I am having a baby? Like, what if it were to turn out that I actually was pregnant?" And he's like, "Well, then we'll just have a baby." And I was like, "Excuse me?" Like, I was about to cuss him out. "We'll just have the baby then." Okay, don't bring "we" into shit because that's another thing that men like to do. When men know that you are putting yourself up at a more risky decision, they try to make it seem as if you all are a team. Be very careful of men when they throw out that "we" talk. Like you all are going to purchase a home or something, and you know, he want it's more of kind of like a risk, I guess, if it's being ran up under your credit, you know what I mean? Because you already have children, maybe what if the marriage doesn't last, you know what I mean? Then you'll have this mortgage and then you may not be able to keep up with the mortgage and you have children, you may lose the house, yada yada. Well, I want the house to be, in your name and da, da, da. And like let's just say this guy isn't financially stable. Let's say he's like not stable with the job or whatever. The first thing that he's going to say, well, we need to work together. We need to be a team. We need to help each other out. Oh, they're going to turn it into "we" real fast because they want you to forget about the risk that you're taking on. Because if they say "we," automatically your brain is thinking like, "Oh, well then if I'm taking a risk, that means that he's taking a risk." No. It's your credit that's getting ran. So if this doesn't work out and you can't maintain this home, it's your credit. Like it's going to be everything. It's going to be everything that's going to be impacting you. Because there's no guarantee that this whole "we" thing is going to stay solid. Like a lot of the time, there's an expiration on "we." We this, we that. I'm not French. Shut the fuck up. Like, no, I need to think about how this is going to impact me. As soon as he starts saying we, say that. Say, I don't speak French. Mm-hmm. Thank you. It's the first time that I put on makeup in so long. I haven't put it on in forever. Haven't put it on in forever. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And it's like, oh my god, clearing stuff out of the room in his parents' home and filling it with baby stuff, like, I guess. Yep, learning state laws when it comes to marriage and owning a home first was life-saving for me. Yeah, because every state is different, and you need to know how all that stuff is gonna come down in case something changes. Yeah, it's your baby. It's not you guys' baby, it's your baby. Like women, young girls, young women have to acknowledge the fact that getting pregnant is risky, and it's even more risky now because now it's not about you getting pregnant depending on what state you live in. Now it's about you actually having a successful pregnancy. Because if you don't have a successful pregnancy, if you live in a state that doesn't believe that you should be getting any care if you don't have a healthy pregnancy, they're not going to do anything for you. Exactly. Priscilla said it. Familiarity breeds contempt. Don't let these men be comfortable with you. I always say a man should always understand you got one foot in, one foot out. one foot in, one foot out. A man should, I talked about it on TikTok earlier today. A man should never, ever be having conversations about you to his homeboys, talking about, oh, yeah, she ain't going nowhere. She let me do whatever I want. She cool. She ain't bothered. She ain't care. She don't care. She ain't going nowhere. If men are out here talking about you like that, it's too late. You need to leave. You've let it get too far. You've made them feel way too comfortable. They feel invincible at that point. The relationship is, once a man starts thinking that about you, it's over. All the respect is lost, and at that point, they just see you as a doormat. And yes, you will earn less money with being a mother. You will. Yeah. The baby is all on you. I say it all the time. The only time that a woman should be having a child is if she is 100% okay with being a single mother. Cause me, I'm not okay with being a single mother. And I don't have community, honestly. I don't have any community that I would be able to rely on to help me raise a child. And I don't want to put my money to outsource. Like, I don't. Not for a child. Like, building it, I want to give my money to other women, like through like me employing them or something in a different way, like for my business, not employing them for like a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to do it in a different way. Yeah, I have community and it's still hard. And the thing about it is that the thing that sucks is that like the world just isn't constructed to like mothers or be fond of mothers. I mean, like that's just the harsh reality. Like we don't live in a society that cares about mothers. I mean, it just doesn't. And really there's no level of like preparation that you can do that's going to combat the level of like, I mean, honestly, I don't want to say hatred, but I guess you could frame it as hatred. I would think that the proper term is more of like indifference. We just live in a world that's indifferent to mothers. Like no one really cares about like the burden that mothers have. It's just kind of like, well, you'll figure it out. And it's just like, okay, it's and the thing about it is just like a wrinkle in time, you know, when it comes to women being mothers, like your postpartum depression, that's just a wrinkle in time. Your body not being the same, that's just a wrinkle in time. Your sleepless nights, that's just a wrinkle in time. Like you have all of these like different moments that are impacting you and you just kind of have to like brush over it as if like it didn't happen. Like it's just such a high level of indifference that we have to mothers. 'Cause there was a girl that, I used to be friends with, and she worked with a group of women, and, like, these were all women that had children, right? They swore up and down that postpartum depression wasn't real. They're like, "Postpartum depression isn't real. I didn't experience that. I didn't have postpartum depression," and that's the issue with the world today. Because I didn't go through it, it doesn't exist. Me, I, and it's like, so you're the standard for every other person in the world? Like, no, like you, and the thing about it is that like it's that internalized misogyny. Like, no, just admit the fact that you struggled a little bit after pregnancy. Like, why do you want it? You're a woman. You're not a small man. Like you don't have to sit here and like try to make it seem as if like you were so tough after your pregnancy and that like you didn't have like some fear or some like, you know, just feeling different or just feeling like you weren't prepared or not feel like you're, you know, doing as well. You know what I mean? Like you're a woman. You're not a small man. Makes sense. 100% makes sense with supplement. I called one of my banks to create a joint account. He says not yet, no money. Don't get no joint account with him to put money in. Please don't. Please don't. If that man is ever giving you money, it like literally needs to be it he shouldn't have, he's a homosexual. He can't have access to money that you all share because he'll take it all anyway. Yeah, I don't have time. Nope. I don't have time for that. I'm not trying to have everything be together. I want everything divided. Everything divided, and you can give me what it is that I'm asking for um on the side, of whatever it is that I want for like my upkeeps and like, my major bills and stuff like that. But no. Oh, well, she's not married though. I don't think, because they only knew each other for 7 months. Not saying that you couldn't get married to someone in under 7 months, but I don't think she mentioned marriage. Huh, she said, my mom is on her fourth marriage. I've been trying to educate her on these things. Hopefully he got more money than the three previous ones. Then hopefully he giving her more money than the three previous. The only time you should be on your fourth husband is if he was richer than all the other three. Hopefully richer than all the other three combined. If the husband ain't getting richer and richer each time you get married, it's no point. Because I'm definitely not getting married 4 times under the guise of love, and it's all the same shit underneath. It's just wearing something different. The getting married talk, the make more money talk, we talked about it all. No action yet. I'm looking for the action. Girl, if he talks about marriage, please say no. He lives with his parents, like, and this is what I'm talking about with the whole investment thing. This is what I'm talking about with the whole investment thing. Men like to work backwards because you're the one putting in the investment. So these men that like get you pregnant first, then they talk about, oh, I'm going to make all of my money and get my career together. Then they're talking about, oh, yeah, I'm just going to marry you. Yeah, it's because they've already had you put the investment with your body, with 9 months, with postpartum, with being a mother. They've had you put the investment on the empathy, the nurturing, the comforting, the understanding. They've had you put the investment in on the time of you waiting to see how long it's going to take them to make this money, how long it's going to take for their business. They're trying to put you into this sunk cost fallacy. So that way, by the time, if they get there, which usually they don't get there, you're still going to be there. Don't let these cut your losses. Honestly, cut your losses. And she's super, and she, yeah, no, she's super self-aware. Like, don't let these men get you into investing anything. Anything. I don't care if that man's seen a freaking penny in your purse and wants you to take out that penny and use it as an investment, I don't care what it is. Don't invest anything. When men want women to invest before they invest for you, it's because they're trying to keep you around so they can do whatever it is that they want to do. That's the reason why. There is literally no benefit to you as a woman making any type of investment first. Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of women carry shame around having postpartum. And I get it, it's kind of taboo, but it's like, dude, like you just pushed out a whole baby. Like you're not the same person. Your hormones are different. Like you just had a whole life transformation. Like, of course, it's going to impact you in some way. Like you're not going to be thinking the same. And the thing about it is that that's the reason why normally we lived in community. We lived in community because technically, like after you give birth, like this is what I think. Okay. I'm gonna give you guys my last final thought and then I'm gonna get off of here. Okay. My like evolutionary biological brain of postpartum depression is this. Okay. I think that postpartum depression is essentially created because we're technically supposed to be raising children communally. I think postpartum depression is like the brain and body's way of saying you need to have your child, but you need to have space from your child because a lot of women like report having a lot of intrusive thoughts when they have postpartum depression. Um, because for a lot of women with postpartum depression, like they hate being a mother. Like it's a very tough time for them mentally. And I think that that's because of the 9 months. That's depleting. You being pregnant for 9 months is very, very, very depleting. And so I think your body understands that you just went through a very traumatic thing. So I think what happens is that the body is like, I don't want you to be fixated on this baby right now. You were just pregnant for 9 months. Someone else needs to be taking care of your baby right now. So you could just focus on you and you could just focus on recovering from the traumatic experience that you just had. Because usually whenever we feel like especially in our menstrual cycle, like the luteal phase is like a tough time for most women. That's like your premenstrual. And of course, there's levels to like a normal frame of like your hormonal health because it shouldn't be terrible. You shouldn't be this like horrible, evil person. If you are doing your PMS, you probably should get your hormones checked. But the reason why you ended up getting into your luteal phase is because your luteal phase is preparing you for pregnancy. Okay. That's the reason why you kind of feel like you're more hungry. Your metabolism is a lot faster. You're a little bit more irritable because it's trying to get you ready for pregnancy. That's the thing that it's thinking like, oh, okay, well, maybe this is going to happen. It's trying to prep you. So I think when your body is responding in certain ways after certain traumatic events, it's probably because it doesn't want you to focus on that thing. You've been focused on it for 9 months. Like you need a freaking break. Go focus on something else. Oh yeah, he's just trying to yeah, I think you should just I would literally have that baby and I would never talk to that man again. Honestly, if it were me. I would never wanna talk to that man again. I wouldn't put his name on the birth certificate. 'Cause the thing about it is that, like, with other animals, you see this with other animals. Usually, if there's, like, a herd of animals, I mean, the mother is around, but, like, usually it's, like, an aunt or somebody else that, like, helps take care of the child. Like, the mother's kinda just doing her own thing. Like, you know what I mean? She cares about the child, but she's not caring about the child. She just spent 9 months caring about the child. She needs a break. Oh, yeah, hell no. Hell no. You've told us a lot now. Don't put that man's name on the, birth certificate. Do not put that man's name on the birth certificate. I wouldn't be talking to him no more. I would literally just talk to him up until the pregnancy. Girl, I wouldn't be dealing with him no more. This guy sounds terrible. This guy sounds terrible. He knows exactly what to say. And the sad thing about it is that he learned what to say from his parents because his parents are enablers. Yes. Oh my God. I'm laughing that you said lionesses and tigresses because that's what I was thinking of because I seen a video. They just dump their cubs onto like whoever is there. Like they don't care. Like you could just tell they're exhausted. They're like, fuck this. Like I'm tired from just the pregnancy itself. Someone else can raise these children for a little bit. I need a break. Yeah, that's how some cultures approach it. The women take care of mom so she can heal postpartum. Western societies don't do this. Hell no. They literally are like, guess what? You had a baby. You'll be back at work in 3 months. Good luck. And it's like, what? Like, and then as soon as you deliver the baby, it's like, okay, here are your two night stays. Here's your $1,000 bill. And I think I've heard some wild stories on how much it costs for them to have a baby in the emergency or in the hospital. Here's your 2 night stays. Here's your bill, and here's your 3 months off, and you have to pretend like nothing ever happened. Like, and they want you to be feminine in this shit. But all right, y'all. I'm gonna get off of here. I hope you all enjoyed the live stream. Don't forget to like on your way out if you haven't liked already. I never care about like the likes or anything anymore, but it's always appreciated. Um, if you haven't subscribed, subscribing would be wonderful. I would love that. Um, I have the Patreon obviously in the chat if you want to join that. Um, AFF-Queen in case you want to go get you some lovely toys so you don't have to deal with these men leaving you hanging in the bedroom. Um, and I hope you all have a wonderful Tuesday. I'm going to make me some food and do my pole classes tonight. So I will talk to you all next time. Bye.